There you go. I caught that too.
Oh my God. Good evening, everybody. Here we are again. Welcome to part 2 of episode 28. Yeah, we need to get our shit together. Okay, so my special guest, she just messaged me back. So she's going to come on with us. She'll jump on in an hour. So we're going to bullshit for a while and then we'll have her get on.
Yeah, that's why I thought that we were gonna go at 5:15 earlier because she was gonna.
Yeah, that made more sense. I guess.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'll be honest with you. I was talking to you while I was working. I can't multitask to save my life. That's my husband.
Right.
Well, we're here. That's all that matters.
Right.
So we were having.
Go ahead.
We were having a little debate while we were waiting to come on. So I want to know everybody's take, especially if you're male. Like, what is your take on your wife or your significant other talking dirty to you? Like, what is your view on that? Do you like it or do you dislike it?
Yeah, I would.
You like it?
Okay. Not all the time. I think.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying walking around every day talking.
Yeah, no. See,
you know what I mean?
I think that there's a time and a place for the come on. You know what I mean? In the same way that there's a time and a place to come on to a woman. A lot of men don't get that. Men just want to push up because you think she looks good and you know she's feeling good about herself and she smiled at your ass. No, that's not always the case.
So that's why I said your significant other, because I talk dirty to my husband like randomly. I don't do it every day. I don't do it all the time, but he'll say shit like earlier on the way home. We were talking about what I was going to eat because I was like, well, what would you eat if you were home? So I went and got pizza. So he's like, he said something about I would have ate it up. And I said, I want to eat you up. And he's like, always, he says he doesn't get uncomfortable, but he gets quiet. Because the other day I told him, I said I told him I want to tickle your, because we were talking about pickles. Something about pickles came up. So I go, I want to tickle your pickle with my tonsils. Okay. And he was like, you're vulgar. And I was like, what?
I think like, okay, so let's say me and the significant other, we're dining, right? And she wants to play around like, nah, man. I'll be like, no. You understand what I'm saying? Like, to like just come off the cuff and be like, ooh, like, I just want to eat you up. Oh, let's go in the bathroom. Like, bitch, what the fuck is wrong with you? That's how I would feel.
With you? That's a lot of guys' fantasies. Like, if my husband was home, I would be touching him all the fucking time, inappropriately, all the time. I do it when I see him, but it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's weird to see some guys feel like that. Some guys, like my husband, will make me mad sometimes because he's like, what do you say, babe? What do you tell me when I say shit to you sometimes?
What?
Oh, he says, that's not ladylike. And I'm like, what?
There is some shit that's, you know what I mean? Like, you know, okay, so let's say that it's time to pay the bill, we cashing out and we leaving. And then, you know, all of a sudden it's like you forcing the conversation to the bed. And that's different. Because I look at it like this. I'll refer back to this is the fact that I want a daughter. So I consider what would be appropriate first in her presence for me as a man, and then second and first as for her mother as a woman in her presence.
Yeah, I don't walk around saying that shit in front of my kids. Like, we'll be talking about something and I'll fuck with him every now and then. It's not like constantly, like every conversation I'm saying dirty shit to him. It's like every now and again, you know what I mean? But he trips me out because he's like, I was like, I'm going to ask people if there's other dudes that get uncomfortable. Because from my perspective, again, that's my perspective, I feel like he gets uncomfortable sometimes. And he's like, I ain't uncomfortable. And I'm like, dude, it feels like it because you don't say nothing and you'll like stop and you'll change the subject.
You're not getting the male perspective. It's not that. It's like, it's not. I know for me personally, it's not. That's not it. You're not. more of a blush than anything. I would suppose. You know what I mean? Like,
what is it for you, babe?
That's for me personally. That's how I would feel about it. Like,
she what?
She gets over dramatic on stuff. I just think governing because what she's telling you that she does, it's not normal. She doesn't normally do that kind of stuff. When I would talk dirty to her, she gets all embarrassed. She gets all, you know what I mean, a red face and everything, and she can't say that she been on my level on that type of stuff. She can reciprocate. She'll be like, you know what I mean, like some of the stuff becomes prudish or something, or
okay,
all pretty blunt type shit. You know what I mean?
Stop it, fucking stop it, because you're talking about shit that happened years ago. So back in the day when he used to try to have phone sex or talk to me dirty, I would get embarrassed, dude. And when he'd say shit to me, I would turn red. He's talking about when we were in our 20s. We're married in our 40s. Like, make it make sense.
I think it be that way in the beginning, regardless. You know what I mean?
She's at Little Caesar's Pizza, and then makes a little comment or something.
I was not in the store. I was in my car.
Hey, bro. Well, let me ask you this then.
She's not really being trying to be nasty and get it on or nothing. She's just being funny. That's it.
Oh, she ain't really trying to get it in. She just being a tease. Like, yeah, go and keep that, say that shit. Say the drama. You ain't serious about it.
I'm what?
She's funny.
You're such a lie, dude. We've been having this conversation. We kind of I got mad at him the other day about it.
This is actually it's like a year ago. I think she was leaving when I was at the other joint. She was not bothered. I tried to get her this. Let's get on. Put your hand in your pants. This is gonna be exciting. Pull over. No. You know what I mean? But she was but she didn't want to do nothing. Now all of a sudden, she got a little piece of pizza pipe. Horny and wants to say something. Yeah.
So first of all, stop with your lying, because I was already way gone from Little Caesars. I was driving in the car when I said that to you. Second of all, if you want to bring up old shit, let's bring up old shit. So at the previous facility, we were literally I was talking about grabbing his dick, right? I bullshit you not, Daniel. We had just talked about it like not even a minute before that. I stood up to kiss him and I sucked my hands and, you know what I mean? I grabbed his shit and he screams like a fucking woman, dude. He's like, everybody turns and looks at us and I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
Hey, listen, I'm personally not accustomed to somebody just grabbing my shit. Like,
but we literally had that conversation. I told him I was going to do it. Like, I bullshit you not, a minute beforehand. I told him I'm going to do it. And he was like, okay.
I think he was just so shocked that you did what you said you were going to do. Like, yeah, she
Is that what it was, babe?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't do no kind of stuff like that visit.
It's against the rules. That don't happen.
It was in my dreams. It happened.
Yeah, no violation of policies and stuff like that.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, he talks shit and like, he wants to bring a bullshit. Let's bring a bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. He got me on that. I did. I used to get like, I turned red and he'd start saying shit to me. And I'm like, he used to write me, I bullshit you not, 18 pages front and back about dirty shit. And now, like, I can't get a conversation out of him to save my life. And it's like,
hey, G, so what is it? You well, you don't like that she's the aggressor now or what? Hey, it sounds like it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. You don't like it. And he does piss me off sometimes because he's like, "That's not ladylike," and I'm like,
Not that it's not ladylike. It really isn't, though.
I don't give a fuck. I ain't trying to be ladylike when I'm talking to him like that.
Obviously not.
No shit.
I ain't
So,
gonna
babe,
say
we got a few comments. We got Michichoro, or what is that? Chorizo. He's laughing. And then Gabriel said, I haven't caught the show in a few weeks. My respects to you all. To you as well. And then he said, danger, the conversation. It's real shit. It's real stuff. Like, I wonder that because I know there are some guys that get uncomfortable and like they don't do good with dirty talk.
It's ultimately a question of decency, right? Like, I mean, moral standards that people have. Like, I mean, there's some shit that these days I won't do that I did as a kid. Let's just say that.
Yeah, because you guys were dirty.
What?
Let's keep it real.
No, it wasn't that a person was dirty.
I've heard the stories, Daniel. No, I've heard the stories. I know, dude. Yes, cover your face. I would be embarrassed too.
No,
because I do know.
It.
And believe me, when he's told me his dirty shit, like I know it's funny to me now. Where we're young.
I plead the Fifth Amendment.
I'm just saying, he's my husband, dude. If I want to talk to my husband dirty, I'm gonna talk to my husband dirty. Like,
hey, ain't nobody tell you a fucking thing. Yeah, if you want
papers.
Yeah. Vice versa. Vice versa.
Hey, tell them, they let me scared. They motherfuckers big, stinky, little stinky, and baby stinky for nothing.
Really, babe? I wouldn't be proud of that. And fix your mic. You sound muffled. He said they didn't call you guys big stinky, little stinky, and baby stinky for nothing. I wouldn't be proud of that. I would not be proud of that. So, just so everybody knows, in about 45 minutes, we're going to have a special guest that comes on. She's somebody that I've been communicating with for a while. I met her off of TikTok. So she got a pretty big platform on TikTok. And she'll be on with us in about 45 minutes. She just texted me, baby.
TikTok.
I don't know who's all on there, but I like to get on there just for some of the drama. Like the prison wife or the prison wife community, like they have so much fucking drama, back and forth, crazy shit. Like it's funny. It's entertaining at the end of the day.
Yeah, they break it. They sell it off. They sell it off to American company. I'll download that. I'll subscribe.
What, babe?
Okay.
I didn't say I was proud of. I said it's entertaining.
I'll give you that.
And yeah, I never said I was proud of it. That shit should be embarrassing for a lot of shit. Like, I'll give you an example. Me and my daughter she came over like 2 days ago and I was working and I was kind of scrolling while I was working. And there was a live with a couple of these prison wives. I don't know them. I ain't friends with them. But one of them gets on there and she is like, I met my current husband through my ex-husband. She's all, it was his cellie. Like, I'm married to his cellie now. And then she goes on to say that she never divorced him because he didn't sign the paperwork. So she's technically married to two people out there. I'm like, one, that's illegal, you dumbass. Like, why are you on live saying that shit? And two, like, she's like, I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks or what anybody says. And it's like, what?
She built for that.
I'd be embarrassed. I'm just saying.
That's what I'm saying. She built for that.
What the fuck?
Hey, if you want to be proud to be ignorant, go on ahead with your bad self. I ain't mad at you.
mean, and my husband's always saying that too, because it's like a lot of people get on there and they'll be like, oh, this inmate played me. He did this and he did that and fuck them all and this and that. Like, put them all down. But they don't talk about the inmate. They're called inmate hoppers, which is crazy to me. Like, there shouldn't even be a fucking term for it. You know what I mean?
You got and you got prison rats.
I forgot that's what you called them. Prison rats.
Hey, real horse. She for the streets, like Gabriel says, she for the streets.
She's for the prison. She's for the prison
Yeah,
yards,
I mean,
from what it sounds like.
she's a pass me around Pamela for real.
Yeah, but like the whole thing about being married to two of them in the same system, just on different yards now, is like you're admitting to a crime on live, dummy. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, that she would actually fuck with somebody. Never mind.
Her husband's Sally, dude. Like, I know
That's what I'm saying,
that
like,
there's some that don't get along and they're not Sallys for very long, but a lot of them, like when they're Sallys, they build some kind of a bond. You know what I mean? A lot of them do. So it's like who I don't know. People are
there's
just
a
weird.
ball and a straw with her name on it. I guarantee you that.
It's trippy.
You have 1 minute left.
Yeah, she should just go ahead and quit if she don't already have a nowhere. I mean, acting like that, you know what I'm saying? Like that.
Yes, might as well get paid for it.
Yeah, you might as well, for being as scandalous as you want to be, might as well chase the bag, whore. Cause you getting fucked for no reason. Shit, get fucked for some figures while you're fucking yours up.
Mm-hmm.
For reals.
I like that. Like that's the kind of drama. And then I kind of explained the other one to you, where there was one girl that was super popular and she had 3 other girls that they were supposedly close to. Yeah. And she made a fake profile of a girl named Jessica. And she hit up all 4, her husband included. And then her other 3 friends, she hit their husbands with messages saying, oh, I heard about you. I want to see if you, so basically like trying to see if they would take the bait, right?
Thank
you. So
the
only husband that took the bait was her fucking husband. The other 3 husbands hit their wives with those messages and send it to them. They're like, I don't know who this is, or, you know, what the fuck's going on. This bitch hit me up, sent the messages home to their wives. That was it. Her husband took the bait, and then she made this big old thing saying, oh my God, like he cheated on me, sis, you can have him, like making all these TikToks, and then come to find out it was her. So you're talking to yourself. You know what I mean? And it was like, what? And then come to find out, one of the girls that was in the friend group, she told the other 2 girls, don't fuck with her, delete her. And they didn't ask why. They're supposedly friends. They didn't ask her why. They just blindly said, okay, I can't think for myself. Let me go ahead and delete her. So they deleted the 3rd girl. And then come to find out, that bitch is the one that did all of that. And then they try to apologize to the other girl, and it's like, there ain't no apologizing, dude. One, you don't got a brain for yourself. You didn't think to be like, hey, why? Why do you want us to delete her? Like, what's the fucking problem? You know what I mean? Then they come back and it's like, oh, we want to be friends. Fuck you and your friendship. You ain't a real friend, dude. You can keep that shit moving. But that's like the type of shit. And then they fight amongst each other. Like, it's like, what? Like, what the fuck are you guys fighting for? We got enough people putting us down and talking shit about us and giving us grief to be fighting amongst each other. Like, that don't make no sense. You should be supporting each other because you know how hard this fucking life is.
Nah, I mean, there's hoes like that I don't know. I mean, that's some mind-blowing shit. Like, I'm trying to psychoanalyze this chick based on what you're telling me. You know what I mean? Trying to understand her pathology, but it's like, God, they're like, you know, where's the trauma come from that you would hate men so much? You know what I mean? Like, and to do it to yourself, like, why do you hate yourself so much at the same time? Because it's like, she's not understanding how demoralizing it is to her, the degradation of her own character, like how fucked up it makes her look.
Exactly. Like, there has to be something wrong in your brain to start all this shit and to be reaching out to your friends' husbands trying to set them up. And then she goes on and she makes fake profiles. It's of her, but she's talking shit. Like, it's like, what? Like, one, who got time to do shit like that? And 2, why? Like, you have to have something wrong with you to be fucking doing shit like that, to be pretending to be other people and fighting with people. And like, it's crazy. Well, that one, I feel bad for her because there has to be something loose in her brain.
I mean, see, saying that, well, while you're saying that, I'm thinking of trolls, right? Because that's exactly the behavior of a troll, right? Online, it's like you're two-faced. You're not who you say you are. You know what I mean? And that seems to be the nature of people's personality. I wouldn't say everyone, but like there's a generation so far removed and that far out of touch. You know what I mean? That they hide behind a screen and they convince themselves of the bullshit that they tell, the lies that they tell. You know what I mean? And it's like, dude, when you're lying, you're delusional. You understand what I'm saying? Like the compulsion to lie is crazy. Dude, like think about it. When you lie, you're not accepting of the truth. You're void of reality.
Yeah, there's something definitely wrong.
Reality, in fact, is the truth. They're all one and the same. So it's like you're void of all of the above to convince yourself of the lies that you tell. You know what I mean? Because you're playing yourself first and foremost. You know what I mean? And for what? What's there to gain in playing these games with an inmate in prison?
And I like at first before we knew the backstory, like when this all first came out, she was like putting out the messages and she's like, sis, you could have him. I did what I had to do. I had told my husband everything. I had read the messages and I was like, I feel bad for this girl. I've been following her for like 2 years. Right. And then it came out that it was her the whole fucking time, dude. And it was like, and my husband kept saying, you don't know his side. You don't know his side. All you know is what she's saying. And then it comes out that she is a crazy one. Remember that, babe?
Yeah.
And he's always saying that
there's two sides to the coin, and the middle is always the truth.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I didn't expect that, though. That was like a plot twist, like a motherfucker, because it was like, wait, what? Because she was on there crying and causing a big old scene, and then come to find out it was her behind the whole thing. Like, what the fuck?
You see, people be doing too much acting online. That's what they doing. It's fucking. It ain't nothing but a performance. It's performance art to these people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they play themselves into these delusions that they be doing.
So Gabriel said, I know a few gatekeepers out here. The homies all stop by when they get out in Glendale. That's gross.
So
Don't evil laugh. I'll stop you.
Do it again.
He said, evil laugh again, babe. So you get beat up at visit.
I can't see his black eye anyway. It don't matter. Yeah, I can see yours though. Blame it on the cat. Yeah.
I did pretty good covering it up though. So I went to work and my daughter's like, I don't do full makeup. So I just did like foundation and you could see it good. You've seen the pictures of it. So people are like looking at me
appropriately at visitation and he got pissed off. No,
babe, did you hear that bullshit?
I'm just playing. Blame it on the cat.
What else?
Hey, it's gonna be all right though.
What else?
There's a lot of toxicity surrounding prisons, regardless, dude. Like, I mean, this is the thing. Like, I can tell you.
I was just talking about relationships in general. Like, that's fucking crazy. Like,
yeah, I mean,
you know,
that's the thing is like this bitch is prone to playing the same games out here with men out here too. It don't matter. She's probably doing the same shit with 2 or 3 dudes out here in reality that she's doing with them in virtual reality. You know what I mean? Like, because if she's doing that shit there with them like that, like, come on, man, you know she's dick hopping like it's the thing to do.
I didn't even think of that. Did you think of that, babe?
It's real. Catfishing is real.
Yeah.
He's talking about it. She's playing games like that with her supposedly husband in prison. She's probably doing it out here in the streets.
Yeah, when I'm catfishing, you be different people to different other people.
Yeah. She becomes whoever that guy wants her to be.
The faithful wife to this person, the faithful this to this person, and you know what I mean?
Multiple personalities.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
Listen,
so anyways, I brought that up because I'm going to talk to her a little bit about some of the controversy that goes on within the community, and then just about the relationships, like, you know what I mean?
So a woman that's cheating, right, or a woman that's with, she's seeing two men, right? That's two different personalities, right? That she's attracted to, two different distinct characters, and she has to suit each of those that oftentimes are contrary. So she has to be what she's not for one to the other. You see what I'm saying?
How do you know that? Because that's what men do?
No, it's a fact. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's just the nature of you doing that. You see what I'm saying? Like, because if it don't matter if
I guess you're trying to make your
it doesn't matter if
personality match
two
yours.
strippers. It doesn't matter if you're talking two strippers in a strip club, right? If in that instance, those are two different women with two different personalities, with two different birth signs, probably two different ages, come from two different walks of life, culturally different, because it don't matter the color of the skin. The class that one is raised in is going to define more so than the rest of it. So then it's the same. Like, I would have to be delusional to be, you know what I mean? Like, I'm splitting my own personality to fucking find two that match up to one. You see what I'm saying? I'm deluding myself. But I mean, if I'm gonna cheat on a woman, I'm gonna expect the same.
As you should.
Right.
As you should.
Period. Karma's a bitch. Just make sure that bitch is beautiful. That's why there's some things for me that I did in history that I will no longer do. And it's not even a matter of regret. You know what I mean? It's a matter of respect. I didn't have it for South End that I do now. You know what I mean? So that's the difference in Daniel today. I gotta quit doing that shit.
Yeah, you just can't go around pissing on every woman you're with, you dig?
Right. Right.
Why the evil?
Then I can do the thing, like, you end up finding a woman that you end up marrying, you love, you fall in love with, you marry, and you have a child, daughter with and shit. You know what I mean? It's just, life is beautiful that way. Single, it's suspicious.
I think as you age, you start growing out of shit too. Like, things that you accepted before, you no longer accept because you live and you learn. You know what I mean?
Right. You better. You know what I mean? You better.
Should.
I mean, you better if you want to get somewhere in life. You know what I mean? Like, you know, fuck, who wants to repeat the same day every day?
I don't know, babe. Do you?
No, I mean, listen, I thought about what you just said too. Like, it's not every day, and there's different too. No matter the monotony, we go through the same repetitions out here. It's just different. We're not in a gate. We have the same repetitious days.
So that's my argument with him all the time too, because I'm like, dude, my life is not that fabulous. I get up, I work, I take a nap, I talk to him throughout the day, I go to my second job, I come home, I sleep, rinse and repeat, like he says, same shit the next day. You know what I mean? So it's like, my life isn't fucking, you know, like today I went to the store to get food. That's the gist of it. But I like that. Like, when I was younger, yeah, I wanted to be out in the clubs and shit with my friends. Now I'm happy at home. I'm happy watching movies and having date night with my husband every night. Like, his celly is so funny because last night, what did he say last night, babe? Do you remember?
In regards to what?
The movie night, date night.
You said, we're gonna have a family night tonight.
He said we were going to have family night tonight because the other night we watched Moana was on TV. So we watched that together and he watched it with us. I love that fucking cartoon. So, I mean, it was cute.
That's dope.
We've been doing that a lot, even just little like.
Hey, so you do
and shit.
Hey, you get video visits right there on the thing?
No, we don't. Yeah. Tell him about the tablets, babe. I'm going to let the dog out.
What?
Tell him about the tablets. I'm gonna let the dog out.
On the tablet, I can use the phone and shit, and she can call me. She can call me. I don't get the phone call like right away. Like I use the phone ring if I got it. And then it makes you put my ID number in, and then after I do that, then I put the call and it says the recording, and then she goes through, even though she calls me. So, but having the tablet, I can make the call from anywhere in the car and shit in my room, wherever, you know what I mean? So, we can keep back on the phone in the room and be watching the same shit.
Oh, okay.
So, that's what we've been doing, watching the same shit. And my celly kept keeping out, so he was in here. He was up on the top bunk, watching the same shit. So he was like, so we gonna have family night again? And it was crazy. He's old enough to be my son.
Hey, so who does all the talking during the movie? You, Naomi?
My wife talks so much.
Did you see me smile as soon as you asked that? I was waiting for him to talk
He
shit.
got dead ass quiet. He was waiting for you to snitch on yourself. He didn't want to have to do it. You told that face said it. Oh, dude.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I said whatever. He was pissing me off though, because like for me, I'm on the streaming, right? So I don't have commercials and shit. So he's like, oh, I forgot to tell you it's on a commercial. I'm like, fuck. So I don't know how much further I went ahead, you know what I mean? So I was like, I have to talk to him. But I do. I was like, in movies, if we were at the movie theater, I'd be yelling and shit. Like,
oh yeah, me too.
Did you hear what he said? This and that. I'm like, I can't even hear what he's saying because you're talking right now.
he's such a grouchy old man now, dude. I'm telling you.
Hey, she's on surprise. She's like, I'm surprised you're still awake. I said, yeah, because you've been talking to me the whole time.
Fuck you, man.
Hey, I be doing that shit though when I'm watching shit for real. I have a bad habit of talking to the TV.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, I'll be laughing too. Like, you could tell when we're on the same part, because sometimes I'll be in the head, but we'll be laughing and shit too. Like, he's dramatic. He's just turning into an old man. That's all. Can you read that comment to him? I'm gonna go let the dog back in.
Ask your Sally, when he was younger, did he ever blow bubbles? And if he did, tell him that motherfucker's getting out next week. Was it his Sally or what?
What happened?
Bubbles was his Sally. Joey Duckett said, ask your Sally when he was younger, did he ever blow bubbles? And if he did, tell him that motherfucker's getting out next week. That's your son.
I'm telling you, hey, this fool just creepy again, man. He's like, hey, you like that song by Imagine Dragons? I said, Imagine Dragons. I was like, you need to Imagine Dragons. He's touching across your face.
They're always saying stupid shit to each other. They're ridiculous.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna give you. Listen, the answer from now on to the question is no.
He said no.
Hey, when he said that, I was like, oh, I like Imagine Dragons. I like that song, Radioactivity.
Bubbles. Blowing bubbles.
Yeah, I would get his ass once.
Damn. You guys are retarded now. Fuck.
They're always joking with each other and scared. He hasn't scared him in a long time, but they were doing that back and forth for a while.
What?
I'm like, you're gonna give that little dude a fucking heart attack. This dude is young. And I'm like, my husband's always scaring the shit out of him.
Like how? Why you?
Like he'll be hiding in the cell, and oh boy,
Oh man,
he'll
you got him
at him.
thinking he's getting a calentada and shit like that, bro. Like fuck, you doing that little boy like that? That's crazy.
Hey, look.
Shock, incarceration.
And when he's coming back, I got on the floor, and we got a key to the door, so he said, unlock the door. And he goes to unlock the door. I didn't yell at him or nothing. I just said, and he said, oh, he's still in the tear. He got on the stiff trying to hold it in and shit. I said, not that boy.
He
You're gonna give that poor little dude a fucking heart attack.
He queefed on himself. He queefed. Damn.
Yeah.
He needed to go take a second shit.
You're so gross.
Oh, fuck. That shit was leaky. He should have just let it go. He shouldn't have tried to hold it back. He should have just screamed. It wouldn't have came out the other end.
Probably I ask him too, like when you guys scare each other like that, is there anybody that's ever swung on you? You know what I mean? Because my reaction when I get scared is like that's my reaction to like throw my hands or something. You know what I mean?
So much that breathes up and just
I wish you could see his face because when he told me this story, he like does the whole reaction.
He did the old Fred what's his name, Sanford from Sanford and Son, Red Fox on that shit.
Oh my god.
Oh Elizabeth, I'm coming.
I think some people might not get that reference. That's old.
Oh yeah, some might be too young to know who Red Fox was. My bad, sorry.
Might be too young for that, sir. So I wanted to ask too, like you got me watching that podcast before we started ours, and they had talked about body count. So what's your take? Like, is there a what's your take on body count?
What about it? What's your
and
question?
It's funny because when I asked my husband his take on body counts, he goes, what do you mean? Like he thought I was talking about
yeah. Other people's.
Is it really?
I'm just saying.
So my go-to was body counts, like how many people you've slept with. His go-to was body counts. You know what I mean? I'm like, really, dude?
Yeah.
Like, really? We were literally just talking about relationships.
You didn't think about that one before you said it, did you?
Yeah, and he goes to say something. I was like, hey. I was like, I know you got a high body count. You know what I mean? Because he knows what I know, you know what I mean? Like he knows what I meant when I said you have a high body count, then he knew what I was talking about. Because this man, dude, sometimes I'm like,
duh. But I mean, listen, no, the reality of it is like the lingo changes so rapidly out here that even us out here can't keep up with the shit, with the trends that are just always so like. This whole
that's
body
count thing that I've known about, though.
No, look, you have to understand something that the reference to body count begins with us, like that, like he's saying. We would do that in reference, and then it evolves into now it's just like gangster. It's a generic term that's applied to whether or not you slept with a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
Or it's actually generically applied to other things as well. But yeah. What's your specific question though?
Okay, I'll tell you right in a second. I'll tell you where it came from in a second.
Securus, you may start the conversation now.
Okay, so on the one that I had watched, it had said they went around the table and they were asking everybody their status, like, you know, are you single, are you taken? And then it got into that conversation about being submissive, right? So he was like, he asked one of the guys that's single, he was telling him like, what are your requirements? What are you looking for? So mind you, this man's not a virgin his fucking self, but he's looking for a virgin. And then they were asking him, the girls were asking him questions like, is that a break, non-negotiable, or is that something that you're willing to bend on? And he was like, yeah, he goes, I'll bend on her not being a virgin, but she can't have more bodies than I do. And he said that he had only had 7. So she had, and one of the girls had more than that, but it was including girls too. She was bisexual. And he was like, well, I would still count girls. But that's where it came in. That's where that came from, with the body count. But I watched this other video before and I couldn't agree with the girl more. Like, she was asked about her body count. She was like, what's the difference if I slept with 100 guys one night? So I had sex 100 times with 100 different men. What's the difference between that and if I married a man and I had sex with him over 100 times? Like, it doesn't, people talk about the sizes and shit, but you're still getting fucked 100 times.
That's a false equivalence. It is.
How so?
I mean, because you're not talking about different people. It's a matter of fact. You're not talking about different people. It's a false equivalence. It's a female's justification for what she does. That's all I heard. That's it. That's all that is a female justification for what she does. Now, the question is, okay.
It's nothing
So why is it okay for you guys to be fucking everything under the sun?
What makes you think that it is? You're saying that.
Well, I'm just saying because it's funny because listen.
Stop. Okay, stop. Because that man wants a virgin. I don't. Right? But that's his standard. Now, okay, if he finds a virgin woman who's attracted to him, now the question is then his body count. It's not a question of hers. Now, is he ever going to find a virgin woman that's in search of a man with experience like that, or that's in search of another virgin as herself? See, these are real life, actual dilemmas that people deal with. Like I said, I don't want a virgin, but I don't want a bitch that's been with 100 different dudes. Dude, listen, you're not talking about one dude. You're talking about, I got to walk down.
What's the difference?
Listen, no, hold on. The difference between that, and I'm going to explain it to you, is stand one man up against 100 men. And let me tell you how it looks. It looks like you just got a fucking train ran through your motherfucking tunnel. So I'm going to tell you what, I'm not trying to throw hot dogs down hallways. I'm not trying to feel that.
That's the misconception, though. That's not the misconception, because trust me, all guys aren't well endowed. You ain't, just because you fuck somebody doesn't mean you're. Listen, because you just said that. So listen, just because you have sex with somebody doesn't mean that you're fucking wide open like that. Because we have babies and our shit goes back. And trust me when I say,
I don't care if the woman has, listen. It doesn't matter. Listen, if she lines up 100 men and she tells me she only slept with 50. Fuck, dude, I'm looking at 100 fucking men that she's had a relationship with. Fuck. That's a fucking problem. You're not, listen, you're hung up on something that you're trying to justify. No, listen, a bitch is going to be a bitch. A hoe's going to be a hoe. A killer's going to be a killer. And a virtuous woman is going to always be that. Whether she's had sex with one already before the next, or not. That's irrelevant. Me, I haven't had in over 11 years, and I won't unless that one says yes. So now, when it comes to body count, it's all predicated on that one. That one who has children.
So answer this. Say you have a 50 body count, right? Is your wife, is it okay that she has a 50 body count? I'm saying hypothetically. Because that's what you got. So why can't you have what you have?
Listen, it goes back to what I said about that man wanting a virgin and her being a virgin, and whether or not she's accepting of him not being a virgin. It doesn't matter how many, right? So listen, if she has no problem with what's behind me, good for her. She can accept me as I am. But if I have a problem with what's behind her, I can't accept that. And they'll never go.
Dude,
Listen,
how do
they'll
you have
never
the
engage you.
audacity to put her down for the same shit?
I'm
you
not
do?
putting her down. You're asking me.
No, I know, but I'm telling
I
you,
don't
you're
want
expecting
a
something.
woman who's been with 100 men. Period. Listen.
Okay.
She can have at it. I don't judge her for that. I do not judge her for that.
But what I said was, if a girl
I
came
don't
to
want
you,
her.
like a wife came to you,
I don't want
and
her.
listen, she has the same exact body count that you have, would you accept her?
Okay, what if it's one?
So, okay, but I'm saying matching it. If you've only slept with one person in your life and she's only slept with one person, are you okay with that? Because I'm pretty sure you've slept with more than one motherfucker. So let's be real.
Listen, here's the thing. I'm not trying to fuck with no porn star. I'm not trying to fuck with a stripper. I'm not trying to fuck with a prostitute.
That's not what I asked you though, dude. Like this is the thing for me with guys. Is like I grew up with a lot of guys and they kill me when they get on their Facebook and they're like, I'm not making no hoe, no housewife. Bitch, have you looked at
Don't get mad at us for having standards. No, don't get mad at us for having standards.
Let me finish.
Don't get mad at us for having
dude.
standards.
I let you finish. Don't get on there. When we know your track record, you're one of the biggest hoes in Denver.
Don't get mad at us for having standards.
Okay. Are you going to let me finish? You can have standards. But how the fuck are you going to have the audacity to get on there and say, I don't want to make a whole housewife when you are a hoe? You are a hoe.
Then don't fuck with a man like that, period.
You're not even listening to what I'm saying, dude. You're just being combative.
It's really simple.
But this is the problem because you guys are ridiculous like that. Like you can't get up here having these crazy ass standards.
Okay, hold on. You're conflating issues here. Now, okay, if you ask me, do I want to be sexually involved with a woman who's been with 100 men? No, never. Okay, now would I be friends with and I can chill with and vibe with and all this and that with a woman who's done all that? Yes, I can be friends with, but I'm not trying to have all the rest of that with her. I don't judge her for nothing else. That's me, dude. I don't know why women have a problem with that. Listen, if a woman has a problem with a man saying to himself that, listen, I want a virgin, and no matter what's behind me, if she accepts that, never mind the rest of the women, because he's with her for the rest of his life, and she's with him for the rest of his life, and they go on and live happily ever after. It's pointless to argument after that. Right? Now, it goes back to standards. If her standards are she's accepting of a man who's been with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And if I had to name 100 different men, damn. Or if a woman I had to name 100 different women, fuck. That's a problem. Now, okay, we have to answer for it, I suppose, if we're not a virgin, right? Now that's a question of what we're accepting of, right? It's his period. Now, if a man, listen, if a woman doesn't want to accept me because I'm short, what's the difference? See, women don't seem to get these principles. If we're going to make
you don't get it because it's cool to have. What I'm saying though, listen. What I'm saying is it's cool to have standards. Everybody has standards. Everybody has things that will deal with. But it's contradictory to me when you're talking down to some girl about being a hoe that you call her hoe, but you're well known in Denver for being one of the biggest hoes. But you don't want that. You want a good girl. You want. You know what I mean? A lot of these girls that you fucked were good girls and you made them not. So, you know, where's your fucking like what?
Listen,
like make it make sense.
And I may never find a woman because of that. Do you understand that there's consequences? I may the rest of my life either repeat the cycle or never find a woman who's accepting. Do you understand that? I can accept that. It seems to me that there's a whole bunch of people that can't accept that for themselves. I can accept my celibacy because it's been 11 years. I don't have a problem with that. I know what I want. I'm headed towards that, as a matter of fact. So I'm clear about mine. I'm a one-track minded person. Now, this woman has children, 2 of them. So obviously there's history. Do I care about that? No. Will I question it? No. Do I want to sit here and ask, hey, who all the dudes you've been with? No. children's father, that's it. Now, if it comes up, right, by chance, however, whatever, that, okay, just crossing paths, they've been in a relationship, whatever, it gets brought up, I didn't know, and it gets brought up, I don't have a problem with it. You see what I'm saying? It's like, okay, if one crosses paths, after that, nothing was brought up, that's going to trigger the conversation on both parts. I guarantee you that. So then it's going to go tit for tat, and then I'm still going to move on because I fell in love with what I fell in love with. It has nothing to do with the rest of it. It's instincts, intelligence, and reflexes is what I look for in a woman. Birth sign matters.
As long as you don't know, you're good.
What she looks like. Birth sign matters more to me than what she looks like.
Babe.
Birth sign.
Babe. What is your take on that?
You don't.
I don't. So, you know what I mean? It's that's more of a woman thing or an insecurity thing for somebody when they go seek it. So for me, I don't know. And like I said, I wouldn't believe it anyway. Because when I was growing up, the magic number people used to say was 3. And it'd be like, my first boyfriend and you.
For real, that's real shit.
Okay, so I don't ever get twisted on that. But for me, like somebody said, like if this was another life and we worked together, I wouldn't want no virgin, you know what I mean? I need somebody that knows how to do something, you know what I mean? But that's just me as a person. Again, the body count, I don't go seeking it or looking for it, because if you look for ghosts, you're going to find a ghost. So it's something to go look for. What I understand the part about a broad getting fucked 100 times by one dude, or the difference between 100 different dudes. My take on that is that she doesn't value herself, so it's easy for her to give it away to just everybody and anybody. You know what I mean? It's nothing precious that I'm getting because everybody gets that. You know what I mean? It's that same old fast food that everybody is used to, because you ain't got to work for it or nothing. Everybody gets a chance to get it. You know what I mean? So why not me? So I understand that part. So I can understand somebody's not wanting that. They would prefer this right here. You know what I mean? Because if she's with you 100 times, who's to say she wasn't with all 100 of them dudes 100 times? So I'm just saying, those things to go through your head. So I would rather not dwell on those things or seek those types of things out. But if you're asking someone what they would prefer, you gotta understand that part about it. That, you know what I mean? Like, I remember, like, and don't get me wrong, I know a lot of people have one night stands and shit like that. You know what I mean? We used to live for getting that knock on the belt type stuff. You know what I mean? It was a thing to do. You know what I mean? But let's be real. A lot of times didn't respect you, and when I say didn't respect you, I mean, yeah, they were cool with you. You know, they treated you good and everything, but that's because you were giving them something. You know what I mean? You were giving that up right there to them.
And what makes you think that all girls respect the guys?
They weren't looking at you as, this is a good woman right here. I'm going to marry her, have kids, what do you think your fans and this and that? No, they weren't thinking in terms like that. They're only thinking that, man, you know what I mean? She'll give it up. She got good pussy. You know what I mean? She got this. You know what I mean? That's it. So when I say they didn't respect, is they weren't thinking outside of just the main thing.
So what makes you think that all girls are that's what they want and they respect you because you're just flinging the dick out to anybody too? Like, this is where you guys got it so fucked up. Like, it's so one-sided. It's okay for all the men to fuck whatever they want, however they want, and then to turn around and be like, oh, I got these crazy standards. Like, no, bitch, you were a hoe
It's
too.
not. I just told you it's not.
I'll be quiet because you just said it was. You and him
No,
too.
I
Like,
didn't. I've been seeing. Listen, I've been celibate for over 11 years, and I said I won't have sex if I don't marry. So no, dude, I'm telling you.
I mean, that's just a touchy subject because there's always double standards when it comes to that.
Listen, when it comes to my little,
crazy to me the way you guys think about it.
I got a 15-year-old adopted brother, and I teach him the same thing. Wait until you're married. For that very reason, dude. Show some respect for yourself because you know what? You're right, dude. But just you're under the impression that I don't think it's right. It shows the same. Listen, it shows the same thing about a man that he said about a woman. The only difference is the sexual implications of it. The rest of it shows how loose a person is, like how little a person can be trusted by how far they extend themselves. Like you have no reservations. You are not hesitant about nothing. You cannot possibly be that age and have been with that many people.
Be what age?
In the 20s, especially. But if you're in your 40s,
what about your 40s?
if you're in your 40s, it's a whole different age. It's a whole different discussion. It actually is. Because then, okay, for me, that's why I say, okay, is it right for a woman to do that, right? Because I just told you it's not right for a man to do it. Now, ask yourself, is it right for a woman to do that?
I mean, I ain't going to tell somebody what to do. They're going to do what they do. But my whole thing
is it right for a woman to sleep with 100 men? What do you think about a woman who slept with 100 different men? Because I just told you it's not right for a man to do it. What is your saying about a woman? How do you judge your own kind? Because I judge mine the way they should be. But see, you just like every other woman play partial to your kind. And listen, there's no justification for what's not right. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. So to sit here and
that's what I was saying. So if it's good for a man to do it, it's good for a woman to do it.
Now you answer the question: is it right for a woman to do it? You think it's right for a woman to sleep with 100 men?
If that's what she chooses?
No, it's not right, dude. She got a problem.
Who just are like you to judge somebody?
Everything he just said about her.
To judge somebody, dude. Who are you to judge somebody?
He just said about her stands and some, and the same be said for a man in reverse. So it's answer the question. It's not right. But see,
says who? Who are you to judge anybody? Who are you to judge the life that she's leading?
Oh,
I'm only saying the part that
don't get mad at a man who doesn't want her.
The part, okay, but listen, the part that I don't agree with is when you're doing the same thing, but you're expecting something different.
Doing what? I ain't done nothing in 11 years. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about guys in general. I gave you the example of the dude who was talking shit about girls, but he was one of the worst well-known hoes. Like, you're doing it too. So how are you going to put down the next person next to you doing the same shit you're doing?
Listen.
That's wrong, dude.
Put him down. What do you call a person that sleeps with 100 people? I didn't say any gender. All I asked was a question. What do you call someone who slept with 100 people?
Active.
Let's ask 100 people, and 100 people are going to say a fucking hoe, male and female. 100 of them will say the exact same thing because they're fucking hoes. You don't change because you want to defend it. Come on, man.
This is a funny conversation.
It's not right, dude. It's not right. I'm not judging them. They can fucking sleep with whoever they want. I don't give a fuck. But don't cry about it because I don't want to be with you.
That's fine for you, but I'm saying for the ones that do that.
Bro,
like if you want
listen.
a girl to be a virgin, then you should match that. You should be a virgin as well. You can't put down a
But
whole
tell that
set
man
of
who wants a
people.
virgin. I don't want a virgin. I don't
Okay,
want that.
but
He
you-
wants that.
Okay, cool. But how are you? This is what I'm saying. I'm not saying you as you, but how is one person, whether it's a man or a girl, gonna say, I
It's
don't
for
want
her to
this,
judge.
but that's exactly who you
It's for
are?
her to judge. It's for her to judge, not me nor you.
Whatever,
Listen,
dude.
if that virgin woman has no problem with giving it up to that man, who am I to judge? You're the one who's judging, not me.
Motherfucker, you just said you were judging.
I'm
Right
not.
before this segment, you said that.
Listen, if there is a woman, a virgin woman, who is accepting of that,
And
and
that's
she
fine.
wants that,
That's
I
fine.
don't care.
And that's fine. But I'm saying, how are you going to put down a bunch of people that are doing the same thing you're doing? You just said whatever's good for the goose is good for the gander. But then you changed it up. You can't do that. Either it's good for you. If it's good for you, it's good for me. Like, why is it different because it's a woman?
I've been celibate for 11 years. What you talking about? Try that.
Arguing with you is like arguing with the fucking door, dude, because you don't
I've been
listen.
celibate for 11 years for one woman. I'm not the
But
average.
it don't matter if you're celibate for 11 years. You got a fucking past. You have bodies behind you,
There's
dude.
only one woman.
You
Hey,
fucked bitches.
there is only one woman in this world who needs to worry about that. One. There's only one
we'll
woman
talk
in
about
the world
something else,
who
dude,
needs to
because
judge me for
you
that.
keep changing
One.
it.
There's only
First
one
you're
woman in this
judging,
world
then
that
you're
needs
not
to say,
judging.
one. You're not getting that.
So, babe, I want to read these comments to you.
One.
Michael's on. He said, "What's up, homies? How are you guys doing?" Baby M. That was Baby M, babe. Then he said, "You guys act like you guys are married."
Yeah.
And then Joey's ass said, "The rides keep riding and hoes keep hoeing," or he met the riders. You guys just don't fucking get it. Like, you refuse to listen to what's being said. You just want to react.
Hold on.
Alexander said, "Tapping against from Stafford. Much love to Greyhound and Daniel. Much respects to you and your loved ones." Why do I always get left out?
All right now.
Like, Marissa said, "You guys act like you guys are married. Stop that shit." My husband's on the phone with us as well. I just don't like the double standard, dude. Regardless, the double standard is fucking annoying.
Double standard? What double standard? Oh, God damn.
You just said it again, so you keep saying that, but you just said that it's okay for a man to be a hoe, but he can request a virgin. Like,
why can't he?
Why is it okay, but it's not okay for a girl to be a hoe?
A woman can want a virgin man
okay
after sleeping with 100. Listen, you're missing the fucking point. A woman who slept with 100 dudes. Listen, a woman who slept with 100 dudes, if she wants a virgin man, I don't have a problem with it.
You're missing the point.
You're the one with the double standard. I have none. No double standard. What I said, none. Dude, none.
Anyways, babe, talk about something else, because we're not going to get nowhere talking about this shit, because he's not listening.
That is a double standard, and say what you said. When I said that, listen, a woman who's been with 100 men, if she seeks a virgin man, that is her prerogative. More power to her if she can acquire that. I don't judge her. I don't knock her. I don't care.
Nobody's talking about that part, dude. Like, you keep going back to weird shit that I'm not even talking about. I'm talking about the double standards. In some of the shit you're saying, it's okay for the dude to be a hoe, but it's not okay, or what you consider a hoe, but it's not okay for the girl. She's looked down on, but the guys
find nothing that I said that actually says anything you said.
Rewatch it.
I speak everything.
But anyways, I don't want to talk about it anymore, because
that's the double standard we're talking about. That's the double standard we're talking about.
That I don't want to keep going in circles.
I'm gonna find something for you, though. A virtuous woman.
I don't want to keep going in circles about it. Like, we're not going to agree with each other. We'll just agree to disagree. Right, babe?
Hey, I'm just explaining to you. Don't listen. You're gonna face that shit till eternity because it's only gonna grow more and more so between men and women, this ideal. Because people believe in this double standard notion. When I just described to you what is not, it is to judge both equally. So when I say that a man who slept with a however many women that seeks a virgin, it's the same be said for the woman, vice versa. There's no double standard in that. I don't make no judgment about that. So be it. Me, myself, as a man, as an individual, I have a specific preference. And I know what I want, and that's that. You see what I'm saying? Now, either she does or no, and I'll move on. I don't need no other. That's not my ambition in life. So this is like I said, it's only going to grow because this is the idea people have. It's a us versus them notion when we need one another. We ain't gonna grow in humanity, ain't gonna hit 9 billion if men and women don't procreate, period. We need each other that essentially. So listen, I have no problem with neither man nor woman setting standards for themselves, no matter what they are, no matter whether I agree with them or not. I have my own, in fact.
So then Marissa Gutierrez said, Baby M says he's still a virgin. He ain't no hoe cake.
Yeah, what he said.
Let me text to see if she's going to come on with us.
See, that's the thing is like.
What are you laughing for?
Thinking about stuff.
Oh, shit.
Hold on, let me look for something real quick.
Okay, I'm waiting for the girls to reply to see what's going on.
Yeah. Yay. Have you heard that album by Buffalo or Hungry Bill?
Did you say Post Malone?
Above the Law.
Oh, Above the Law? No.
Yeah.
Have you, Daniel?
What's that?
He said, Above the Law. Have you heard that one?
What song?
What song, babe?
I'm trying to remember what song it is, but where he's like, doctors kicking with doctors, uncles kicking with uncles, gangsters kicking with gangsters, motherfuckers kicking with real motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
Hold on,
That's real talk.
I was trying to. You don't know what song it is?
It's on that Time to Rebel album. Hold on, I'm looking for something real quick. Let me see. I wanted to read something. Let me see if I can find it really quick. That's the good thing about being in my cell. I could just dig into my property and shit.
That's how, hey, bro. That's how I tell you, man. Motherfucker can go grocery shopping from the comforts of his home and have that shit delivered to him. I got that album up. I don't know what song. I don't know what song it is. Evil That Men Do.
People being lazy, not wanting to do certain shit no more.
Hey, nah, you know what it is, bro? It's like, it's a level of anxiety that people have, man. This world's fucking crazy out here, bro. Like, just the other day, Well, Memorial Day, fucking, there was a road rage shooting right there, block from my mom. Well, it ain't even a block. It's right there by my mom's on Yale and 36th Street. Road rage, fatal shooting, just Memorial Day, dog. Like, that's the type of shit we got to worry about out here. Some fucking random road rage shootings and killings out here, bro. That's just crazy. That's why motherfuckers don't be wanting to go outside.
So I think she went into the other chat because she's saying that she's backstage, but she's not there. So I have to resend her this one.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Yeah, she's like, it's saying I'm backstage. I'm like, no. Oh, there's.
I was getting ready to text you when I went on. I just exited everything out and went back on, and I seen that you had sent another one. And she should be able to link it to her social media too. If having that on there, she should be able to link it to her TikTok.
No, I try to link it to my TikTok, but it doesn't work. Like TikTok won't let StreamYard.
You can share it. You have to share it.
Hey, Chyna.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good. I'm just getting off of work right now.
Okay. So we just got into got into a conversation about another podcast where they were talking about relationships. We won't get back into it because it was an argument.
Oh, well. It's always an argument when it comes to situations.
Double standards, girl. Double standards.
Yes.
So you're on live with myself and Daniel. This is one of my husband's closest friends. And then my husband's on the phone with us as well.
Oh, okay.
So it's Daniel, and then my husband's Greyhound.
Yeah, and can you introduce yourself to us?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. My name's Chyna. I am a prison wife. My husband was sentenced to 21 years. I did meet him while he was already in there, so we've been together for 4 years. He's been down already 8 years.
So you still got a little ways to go?
Yeah, we still have till 2032.
And where are you guys from?
We're from the IE, Riverside area.
Oh, I got family out there.
Okay, yeah, out here. You guys starting to get hot out here.
I hear. I hear.
Originally, I was from Bakersfield, but I moved up here. But the weather does not compare to Bakersfield. I can tell you that.
Why? What's the degree difference between Bakersfield and the IE?
I moved out here just for my safety and my children's safety because of their dad. So but I mean, it's cheaper in Bakersfield. It's the cost of living is like completely different. But yeah, if I could, I would go back. Because it's really out. It's hard out here, especially being a single parent.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So me and you have talked over probably like this last year, I want to say. I don't know if you remember much about my husband. My husband has a natural life sentence. We've been together for about 20 years. We have a 19-year-old daughter.
Yeah, so I remember you saying.
I was just telling the guys a little bit about the TikTok drama that goes on within the prison wife community.
Oh my goodness! Yes, let's talk about that.
I was about to say, because I was like, she gets into it with them. Like, I agree with a lot of shit that you're saying. I just don't have the time to be arguing with people.
Yeah, I don't. And you know what? Like, here's the thing. There's a lot of the times that these prison wives, prison girlfriends, they feel the need to politic. That's not our business. First off, that's something that we shouldn't even be speaking on, bringing up. Nobody's level, status, what's going on. That's not our business. A lot of the times, like I've always said, and my argument, has always been like that we're here to support each other as women, not support what goes on behind those walls. That's not our, our only concern and our only issue should be our husbands. That's it.
Right.
But like I said, the world already does not understand. Like, they don't understand what we go through, what we have to deal with. They already call us, names. They think of us, they belittle us. They think, we're stupid for waiting for our men, for waiting and, devoting our time to them and stuff. So on top of that, it's like us women that are going through the same thing, that can relate to each other, are bashing each other, talking down on each other, disrespecting each other for what? And a lot of the times is like me, I said, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of these people keep trying to come and bully us prison wives, and think that we're not going to say something back. And with the back and forth with the prison wives and the drama, I can go back and forth. Like, I'm a mom. I work 6 to 6. I have my side business. I do my hustle and everything. But it's like, when you come, like, I stand for what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And when you come at somebody disrespectfully, expect to get disrespected.
Right.
And a lot of the times these females, they keyboard thugs, and they're not with that old school stuff where it's like, you know what, you got a problem with me, let's pull up, what's good. It's just that back and forth, and then at the end of the day, what was it for? It's really not that big of an issue. Like, right now I'm dealing with something, like I said, it's not an I asked for an address to be dropped. I didn't get what I wanted. So at this point, the back and forth, the going on live and speaking on me and trying to call me out my name and doing all this, doing all that, it's really pointless, because when I asked for an address or a location, it was never given. So the prison drama on TikTok, it's crazy. It's crazy. I had went live with that whole situation of another prison wife. I believe she was, I don't know if she was like in doing like the IFC, or she was helping out other prison wives, where wives would come to her with their problems, with their situations, with their husbands, and then she would go, put it out there. It was a big thing. It was a big thing. And so that was kind of dead. And, I've been trying to fight with keeping it peaceful, but then also standing on what's right and teaching people how to respect. But it's a battle. Like, you're dealing with a bunch of women, a bunch of emotions. Their mentalities are, I feel like this generation, like, cause back then, like with my kids' dad, I mean, I've been with my kids. I was with my kids' dad for 15 years, and in those 15 years, he caught 8 years, 4 years, 6 years. So the prison life is not new to me. And back then, it was never like this. It was never like this back and forth, this drama, this. And I feel like nowadays, a lot of them get married just for the title of
Yeah.
of a prison wife or prison girlfriend, or I'm holding down an inmate, and they're not
Well, I get
really.
that too, but I've talked about it before where I said, it's good to be supportive. That's what we should be doing. We get enough grief from everybody else. We shouldn't be giving it to each other.
Uh-huh.
This life is so hard. Like, you can't be friends with everybody. And you kind of have to choose, because at the end of the day, like, you're in a different state from me. But like, if I make friends with certain girls out here, like, yeah, I run a Facebook page, and I'll help anybody. I'll ask them or answer their questions or whatever, right? But I can't be like, there's a certain one that came out and told us what her husband was in there for. I can't fuck with you on a personal level, because at the end of the day, that can put my husband in jeopardy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So a lot of girls don't understand that either. Like, you have to watch what you're saying to who you're saying it to. You can't just get on there, like spilling out your secrets, your husband's secrets to anybody. And that's what I don't understand. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like it boggles my mind that they even do that.
Yeah. Like
Because
I don't know if you like I don't know if you noticed, like, okay, so my TikTok, I had opened it for other prison wives to send me messages, and I would post anonymously for that same reason that there's times like me, I used to, and I to this day, like I struggle with trusting females with, like, I'm going through something, or like, say for example, me and my husband, you know, we're arguing. Who do I go to? Like, who do I talk to? Like, who do I kind of like vent to, you know? And I don't have that. So I said, you know, I wanted to open it for it to be anonymously, for that reason, so they could feel safe, for it to be a safe zone. And a lot of the prison wives, you know, they do message me, and I post, you know, from the inbox, and this is what they said, you know, and then everybody can give their opinion, or if they've been in that situation, they can relate, they could give, you know, pointers, they could give advice. So it has like its pros and cons, when it comes down to like social media and, you know, talking to somebody about like your situation. But exactly like you said, like, you can't go out and say like, my husband did this, did that, he's here for this, he's here, you know, like, you can't do none of that.
Yeah. And a lot of girls will say it. And I was telling my husband about that whole situation you were in with the other 3 girls. And like, I know that I got blocked from one of them because I had got on your live, and I was like, you know, if they just blindly removed you as a friend, like, what? Like, what kind of friend is that? You can't come back now and be like, oh, well, we understood that it was her crazy ass, and now we want to be friends with you. Nah, fuck you. You made your choice. Now lay with that choice. Don't come back over here, because you show me what kind of person you are, so I'm good on you. That's why I posted when I was like, if you don't like me because you're dick riding off another bitch's feelings, you're a weak bitch. At the end of the day, that's what it is.
It's a lot of monkey see, monkey do. Females, like I said, you know, like I said, I respect females more if they come to me directly and tell me like, hey, I don't like this, I don't like that. But when you consider somebody a friend, you shouldn't have to even question their loyalty. You shouldn't even have to question how they move. And so they felt how they felt, and that's why I said, like, you know, they apologized, they owned up to their shit, but it's like, you stay on that side and I'm gonna stay on this side, and that's it, you know, like. And like I said, I know my character, and it was fucked up because like I stood up for what's her name, Lindell, you know, and she said what she said when she was calling me sis, you know, and calling me and saying, and even till then, and that's why I said, like, you got to watch people's characters, because even how she did me, and even how she said what she said about me, never once did I ever spill her beans. Never did I once go and say like, well, she did this, she did that, you know, like, that's not my business. I don't care what she does with her life. That's her. It has nothing to do with me. But that's one thing about me that I won't do, is if I fall out with somebody, I'm not out there like, oh, she did this, she said this, she said, no, that's not. And a lot of them are like that.
Well, yeah, you seen the other 2. Like, I don't even follow them, but one of them keeps coming up on my shit, and I'll keep blocking her, but she keeps making new pages. Like, and you see her talk shit and saying all this other shit about that one person. And it's like, that's the kind of friend that you think I want back in my life. You know what I mean? Like, I'm.
Yeah, because it's like, if they were,
that's what my thinking when they were going after you.
Yeah. Because it's like, if you guys were that quick to switch up, I don't want that type of friendship. I don't want that type of friendship. I don't want that type of relationship. If somebody's quick to switch up on you just like that over something that somebody said, then I don't want that type of friendship. I don't want that type of relationship.
Well, one of them explained it, and she was like, well, Lindo told us just to delete her, not be her friend anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
But
And
if
see,
you
and
were
that's
my friend, why would you just delete me blindly and not say like, well, why? What the fuck happened? And then try to talk to you about it. No, they just deleted you, and then they try to come back. And that's the part where I was like, you're goofy for it, bitch, because what?
Yeah, that's why I was like, and I told him, I said, you know what? I could respect the fact that you guys owned up to your shit, but just stay over there. I stay over here. Like, I don't have an issue with you. But if you're a grown woman and you have to like go by somebody else's emotions and feeling than what they say for you to have your own judgment is crazy. Like, you will fall and break for anybody and everything. Like, you can't stand on your own 2 feet, and that's crazy. Being a grown woman, it's just crazy.
I told my husband, I've seen you get into a few things with some of the girls. I haven't really been on TikTok that much because it's like every time you get on there, somebody's talking crazy or saying something. I don't have the patience nor the time for that shit. You know what I mean? I get irritated fast. And like, I'm quick to be like you and pop off. Like, I was like that. I got into it with somebody on YouTube, and I'm like, bitch, send me your I'll be in your state next month. Like, we can talk about this in person. I'm not gonna keep talking to you over the fucking internet. Like, I'm not about seeing you face to see if you talk to me like that crazy. That never happens. You know what I mean? So I don't want to get involved in all that unless we're gonna do something.
Yeah. And that's why I said, like, to a lot of people respect it. A lot of people is just like, I'm too real, too raw. Like, if I have an issue, I'm gonna address the issue. I've done sent direct messages like, what's good? Either we talk about it, we fight about it. Like, what are we doing? But you're not gonna go on a live and disrespect me, call me out my name, and think that nothing's gonna happen. And so, and I had I didn't tell my husband about it because my husband, he's like, stay off that, that bullshit drama. Don't get yourself involved. Like, my husband's like, so like against like the drama. Like, he's like, if you're not going to fight it, don't say shit about it. So, somebody else had told their husband told my husband, like, hey, are you good? Like, do you need anything? Does your girl need anything? And my husband was like, what are you talking about? So we kind of had got into it because he was like, why didn't you tell me? What, like, I need to, stay on toes. Like, I need to know what's going on. And I was like, no, because that's my problem. Like, that's like, I'm gonna take care of my drama. I'm gonna take care of my own shit. Like, I don't need to involve you in some I don't need to involve you in some female drama, And he's like, I know. He goes, but you just don't know like how shit goes, like, in here. So I in that part, like, I understand him, but at the same time, like, I tell him, like, I got me out here. I got me, like, I'm gonna take care of it. And like I said, it's a lot of rah, like a lot of yapping, a lot of being loud on social media. And then when the question is asked, uh, like, do you want to meet up? Do you want to drop an address? It's nothing. So I'm just like, you know what? At this point, like, let's get it together.
So me and my husband have a rule. Like, I tell him every last single thing, only because stuff like that. Like, I never want somebody to come at my husband and be all like, oh, your wife this and your wife that. And he don't already know what's going on, because at the end of the day, we don't know how things out here can trickle down and affect them in there.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, they're what's important. You know what I mean? These weird bitches that are on the internet talking shit, it's not it. And most of them, like you said, most of them aren't even in it to be in love with the dudes. They're in it for the titles, because now it's a popular thing to be a prison wife or a prison girlfriend. It's weird. Yeah. It's weird shit, because who wants to have a hard life? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But and a lot of them are just hoppers. Like, they just want to jump around dudes too. I don't know. It's weird. Like, I was telling them that I was watching a live the other day, and some girl was admitting to being married to her husband, and she's married to this other dude, and he is her husband, Sally, but she never divorced the first one, so she's married to two of them. And it's like, that's against the law. First of all, why are you saying that on live?
Yeah, I can't like, when it comes down to females like that, I can't fuck with them. I can't. There's certain things that I don't tolerate and I don't respect. And one of them is talking about you're a prison wife, you have your loved one in prison, and you're talking about how you love them and all this stuff.
Did I freeze or she froze? I think she froze because she's
Yeah.
driving. Let's see.
That's why I had to move too, because I didn't know if it was me. Yeah, she froze.
Hey, did you want to ask her any questions when she comes back? Because it's like me and her just going back and forth. Sorry.
No, it's interesting to hear. Honestly, like I'm actually kind of psychoanalyzed. Like it's really interesting, the conversation. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
It's crazy. And what I like too about learning about other stuff in other states is like I was gonna ask her about that. She just had her first family visit. We don't get that shit here. Most states don't. So that's like interesting to us. You know what I mean? Like I want to know how that is. I wish my husband was given that opportunity because we would jump on it.
Some conjugal visits.
Hell yeah.
Jump on this.
Oh, now you're gonna be brave, babe. Don't knock back your grave, sir. Well, hopefully she could jump back on. Her stuff froze, but she was driving. She was in the car, so I'm thinking wherever she's there, she's trying to get back on now. Wherever she was, she lost her connection.
Because I was thinking about somebody. She was talking like the distinction in women that are married in there, or even have boyfriends or whatever, and they're like, there is a woman like yourselves who are waiting for their men, right? Faithfully, loyally waiting for their men. And then there's those women who are so wanted that you see what they do. You're explaining to us what they do on TikTok. I mean, that's what they're doing on TikTok. So imagine the way they are in real life. If you're so full of yourself and so self-absorbed that you can do that, because I've been that online and I know that, then it says a lot about your character. And you're subject to falling into another man's trap out here on these streets. And you know what kind of woman she is. Now, those are two different women. Well, one's a woman, one's not.
Yeah.
For me, that's how I see it. You know what I mean? But that's just it's a trip. You know what I mean? Because look at when in the vows, the wedding vows, till death do us part. It actually comes from the book of Ruth in the Bible. It's where her husband dies, and she tells her mother-in-law Naomi that she's not gonna ever marry again. That she's gonna stay with her, the mother-in-law, and she never did. And that was her vow to her mother-in-law. You know what I mean? After her husband passed or whatever, she would not leave her mother-in-law. So there's women like yourself who you find that, right? And you cleave unto that till death do you part. You know what I mean? And you fight and you struggle because he's not there with you. You don't have that. You got your show of affection and being there for each other is what it is. I mean, it's not hard to figure out as much as you can be there for one another. I mean, you're in California, so you guys still got conjugal visits, right?
Yeah, I actually had we had our first family visit on the 22nd of this month. So it's a whole different bond. It's a whole different it's different. It's a different connection. Like I said, I met him while he was already in there. So our connection was more mentally and mentally and emotionally than it was physically. And then, I met him when I went to meet him, like we would FaceTime, they had their things back then. So, and I went in person, but he was in the shoe. So our visits were, for a whole year, it was, behind glass until, maybe like a year ago was in person. And so we got married in December. And then we just barely had our first family visit. So it's a whole different connection. It's a whole different bond.
Right.
Yeah, I wish we had those here. So just so you know, Daniel, a couple of episodes ago when I was wearing that shirt that said Naomi and Greyhound, and then the picture from our married lifers stuff, she's the one that made that for me.
All right.
So if
That's
anybody
somebody,
needs
wasn't
help,
people asking about that, where it came from and stuff like that?
that's what I was talking about. That's where it came from. She made that for me.
Yeah.
Is that the hustle right there, making the shirts?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
I said anything. I said anything that has to do with inmates. That's where the money's at. That's where the hustle is. And I even like I would make shirts. I'm like the shirts that I make and stuff. I before posting them, obviously I asked the wives, is it okay if I post? Because some just kind of want to keep it private, some don't want to, So when they say yeah, I've sent pictures that I've done to my husband, and he's got me like business in there too.
Right. Yeah, and that's
So I still do the cuts.
that's what I was thinking too. Like I was seeing some prints that I want. You know what I mean? Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I told him like, or I would, like I said, I would make shirts, and he would, get his commissary in there, like do trades, whatever it is. Like you win, I win. It's a winning team.
Right. Oh yeah.
You hear
So
that,
to
babe?
everybody watching, if you want some shirts printed up, some stuff printed up,
Yes, hit me up.
Girl. You got
Yes.
I can't show mine because I don't know what I did to it, but I faded my picture out all crazy.
Yeah.
It got thrown in the dryer, so it like my
See, like I had my husband had sent me prison art, artwork from in there, so those I put them on shirts.
Right.
Yeah, those I put them on shirts.
They
came out nice.
Like this, that's my husband's drawing. It's on a cup.
Yeah.
And then I do the cups with the, like the pictures that we get with them. So
Yeah.
I know you've seen them though, because I've talked to you about it before. But
Yeah.
I've been doing those and like the pop sockets and shit like that, the puzzles.
Yeah. See, it's like out here, it's like it's hard, and that's why it's confusing to know that there's this type of generation of women that want to do it for the title of like, oh, I'm holding an inmate down, or I'm with an inmate, but they don't really understand the struggle and how hard it is to be out here alone, trying to make ends meet, which a lot of the times it's like they could do their own thing, but you're risking a lot. So at the end of the day, as moms, as women, we have to make it happen, make it work, pay bills. We still got a life out here. So it's hard. It's not easy. It's not easy being a married to somebody that's incarcerated. It's not easy, and it's not a fun lifestyle. It is not fun.
It's definitely hard.
I imagine playing around on TikTok don't make it fun.
Yeah, like and
I don't do this with the trolls. I don't know how you do it, but like when we get trolls on here, like he too, Daniel's like, you need to learn how to deal with that, because I can't, dude. Like I get so like I just want to fight somebody.
I go comment for comment. Like I had I don't know if you've seen my videos that I had. So I had posted a video about me and my husband, and some guy commented on it, and he called me a torta. And so I was like, you think that's gonna hurt my feeling? I was like, tortas are good. Like, you think that's gonna hurt my feelings? It's not, So I started like going comment for comment, and he said something about just anything looks good while you're in there, and that's why he's with you. And then again, he called me a torta, and so I replied to it, and I said, look, if you're mad your dad left you and never came back because he went to go get that torta, don't come for me. Be mad at your dad, not me. And then so I go back and forth, and then at the end, mind you, I had plenty of comments, and he was being very rude and disrespectful, and I kept talking back, and he kept saying torta, torta, torta. And then once he couldn't handle it no more, he was like, all right, you're a mean person. You don't say.
Yeah.
Like if you can't handle it, like if you can't handle it, don't come for me. If you can't handle and then what was funny was like what I would say, he would try to say it back, and I'm like, look, I'm gonna give you 5 minutes, go Google some comebacks, and then come talk to me again, because you can't be taking my shit. Like, I'm gonna give you some. I said, go ask Siri or something, Alexa, how do I talk shit back? Because you're not doing your job right now, you know? So at the end of the day, and then after that, he left it alone. He didn't comment. He didn't keep talking shit. And then that was done. And then I've had another one, the same thing. Like, or when I go on my live and they try to, like, trolls, they try to talk, they try to talk their shit. I go back and forth, like, because it's like, you guys want to troll. Well, let's start trolling, you know? And so, and sometimes they can't handle it and they just kind of, they leave,
I
or
did
they
see
end
that.
up getting,
Continue doing the
I'm like, or they
sarcasm.
end up, yeah, or they end up getting their feelings hurt. So it's like, I was raised in a Hispanic home. I was raised with a mom that's a Mexican mom. We talk shit about each other. We clown each other. So anything, anybody out here can try to tell me, it's not gonna hurt my feelings. Like, you can call me fat. Yeah, my husband has extra butter for these rolls. Don't play. Like, there's nothing that, like, there's nothing that anybody can say that is gonna hurt my feelings, because misery loves company, and I don't ever want to be a part of it, because I was miserable at one point in my life. So I don't want to be there, and that's how trolls are. Like, they don't got nothing better to do. They are miserable with themselves, and so it's like, okay, you want to talk shit, you want to be funny, let's go to, I'm related to Kevin Hart somehow, we'll make it happen.
Yeah, see, I don't got patience for that, because I want to fight right away. I don't want to go back and forth with you. I want to fight you. Like, just don't touch me then. You know what I mean? Like,
I learned this. So long as you keep that out, if you can keep from showing that emotion, even if you feel it, if you can keep from showing that and laughing, like,
that's my problem. I can't, dude. I can't.
Yeah. No, and there's been times where it's like, it gets me so mad, because I'm just like, if you had the balls to pull up, then let's talk about it. But it gets me mad, because sometimes it gets me mad that I'm just like going back and forth, and I'm just like ready to like fight. Like, I'm ready to fight. But then I'm like, they're behind the screen. Like, what are they gonna keep? And I said, I'm gonna start doing shirts that says keyboard thug with 911 fingers.
Yeah.
Because
hey, shirt. Come up with a print for that shit. That should be dope right there, for real.
Because I'm like, that's what it really is. A lot of keyboard thugs, they get keyboard happy, and then when it really comes down to it, they're over there calling the cops, or over there reporting your account, or
Yeah.
Securus, you may start the conversation now.
Baby, did you have any questions for her before we continue talking? Babe, I said, did you have any questions for her? Because we haven't heard from you at all.
No, I forgot he was there.
Yeah.
I've been listening.
Okay. He gets mad at me because I'm emotional. So when somebody tells me something, I pop off. And he's like, you need to wait until you talk to me and then have a response, because I get crazy.
Yeah. See, like I told, so.
Getting emotional.
What?
I said, I don't see the need to get all caught up and emotional over certain things. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I get women are different from men. So, you guys deal with things from emotion, and we deal with things differently. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
that's why I don't ever get twisted on what people say. I just kind of laugh it off, because I know what I'm about and what I'm not. So I try not to get caught up in those things. But I know women are a lot different, so you guys handle things a little bit differently. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, like, okay, so I have a question for you, since you're incarcerated, and like I had even asked my husband the same thing too. When it comes to, because a lot of the times these women, when they go back and forth with each other and they start this TikTok drama beef, prison wife stuff, they automatically want to throw in their husband, right? And
a lot of the times they don't realize that it could get them hurt because of the situation. Now, I had asked my husband, and he was like, well, you like, we handle it different than you guys, you know? So like my question to you is, do you guys like get involved when it comes down to like, oh, well, she called me this and she said this, or when do you guys think it's right for you guys to get like really involved and handle the situation?
So for me, I'm real particular in the way I'm okay with my wife associating with people. We'll say in a particular spot that I am at, right? Just because, you know, like she mentioned, there was somebody that she had met, and the female talking about that her man was a sex offender and stuff like that, right? And you know, that's their situation. That's cool. That's whatever. You know what I mean? But the life I live, my wife understands that. So I live by a certain code of ethics, and I don't associate with that. So I don't need my wife by default getting caught up and associated with that, and never having that come on me that I'm involved in these things, I'm okay with these things or whatever. So I'm real particular in what she does, and I let her know these things so she understands on how she functions, right? So as for the beats, again, I try to like your husband told you, we handle things differently. You know what I mean? And my wife understands how I am. I go to extremes with the things that I do. It's just who I am, and so I try to avoid certain situations. I don't get caught up in a bunch of small petty type of stuff. I stay away from that. And if I'm gonna do something, it's gonna be for a reason, and I'm gonna take it there. So when I go there, it's gonna be worth it. It's not gonna be for something that's just some meatball type stuff, right? But,
Yeah.
If there's something like that, I try to talk her out of certain things, because she gets caught up into certain stuff. You know what I mean? Like we'll say like family stuff with, you know, other family members and stuff like that, and that's cool. You know what I mean? I get it. There's certain things, and maybe the other person's wrong and shit like that. But my wife does have a temper, and she can get caught up in certain things. So I'll try to talk her down from it. I've never really dealt with another person's wife or loved one that my people have gotten in beef with. I try to avoid any type of stuff like that. So I make sure that she's not caught up in anything like that, and we try to avoid any of the gossip and stuff like that. But if it did take place, I guess it would depend on the circumstance. You know what I mean? Because again, the way we handle stuff is a lot different. And even though your guys' beef is petty, men can make it even more petty and more reckless than what you guys started. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
It's better for us to try to stay a distance from it. You know what I mean? And try to diffuse it as much as possible. But again, I've never been in this situation. Now I've seen certain situations. That was another thing, like with guys with multiple pen pals and stuff like that.
When he's done talking, I'll give you my take on it.
That can turn into a
Babe, your mic's going out, in and out or something. We could barely hear you.
What?
You were going in and out. We could barely hear you.
What about now?
Good. It's good. It's back to good.
Mhm.
Yeah, but there's just certain things that we try to stay away from because they can turn really ugly, especially in
Yeah.
I guess it just all depends on the circumstance, and I like to continue to do the same way that I do with my wife. You know what I mean? Talk to her about things, and then we.
Babe, what are you doing? I think he's walking around or something because it sounds
It's like
echoey.
breaking out. Mhm.
Yeah. So, my husband and everybody that's on here, I mean, they've been with us for a long time. A lot of people know my husband. My husband goes to the most craziest extremes. So I don't get myself involved in any of that shit because I know where he takes it to, and it's not cute. So for me, like, you should never be involving your husband. If you really loved him and you gave a shit about
Yeah.
him, why would you
Mhm.
involve him in drama? Why
Yeah.
would you put him in that? Like, and I do see that sometimes. I see the girls being like, "Oh, my husband's this and that," and then you come to find out, no, he's not, man. Like, you're what? Your dude's in a PC yard.
Yeah.
He's not what you're saying he is. So stop it. You're at the end of the day, you're getting him in trouble. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's not us out here fighting. They're permanently trying to do shit. You know what I'm saying? If you
Yeah.
catch, like, you can't do that. You can't involve your husband in that shit. And
Yeah.
if my husband gets involved, it's not going to be pretty. So I
Yeah.
avoid that at all costs. I just stay away from that.
Yeah.
So I don't get myself involved in shit, especially when I know that it could come back to him. Because, I mean, like your husband said, like, it's not like us, like, oh, I'll meet you on the street. Because when they see each other, it's not like that for
Be
them.
deadly.
That's what I'm trying to say, not say because of the phone, but that's why I was saying, like, permanently make.
Yeah.
It is what it
You
is.
can't do that. If you
Yeah.
really love him, why would you do that?
Yeah, and that's the problem with like these wives, girlfriends on TikTok, that they use that card easily. Like they just throw it out there like nothing, and it's like they don't realize that it goes beyond just my husband. This, you involve your husband, and it's not what you say it is, and then it's you know, like it gets worse.
Yeah.
From something so small, something so petty, it gets worse. And for what? For over the internet, like over a screen?
Yeah. And if they really cared about them, why would they do that?
Right.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I try to avoid that shit at all costs because
Mm,
I want my husband to one day come home to me. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
that's more. He's more important to me than anybody. So
Yeah.
why would you do that to him?
Yeah. And see, and that's why like my and I know like my husband, like he goes he goes to war when it comes down to me or the kids. And I know how he is, so that's why I don't even tell him like this little drama happened, because he's quick to like move. And like I tell him like my drama, my stuff out here, like I'm gonna handle it. You know, I never want to involve him, because on top of them dealing with whatever they got to deal with in there already, then to top it off, you're dealing with bullshit out here because I'm going through it, and then stressing because what if something happens, or what is this, what is that. So I don't even want to like mention nothing like that. I mean, if it's like really like life or death, then yeah, I'm gonna mention it and I'm gonna let him know. But if it's something so small and petty that I could take care of, I'm gonna take care of it, and I'm not gonna involve him, because that's another worry that he has to deal with.
I think that's a reason why too I don't get too involved in TikTok because I have a reckless mouth too. You know what I mean? When I get mad and I say some shit. And even though I'm not saying my husband's name or trying to drag my husband in, some of those bitches will be like, oh, well, this is her husband, and then get him involved. So I try to stay away from that too. Because my
Yeah,
husband is extreme when it comes to shit. And I'm just not, it's not gonna
I
be
I I trip out. I don't know how these women do it. How they find somebody's man's information, where they're at, the GTL, their CDC, and I'm like, that I know of. could find their CDC by knowing their government name. But if that, like, if they don't know, like, they really are better than the FBI agents. Really are better than the FBI agents. I am
Some
like,
motherfuckers are
you're in
that
the
stupid
wrong,
out here.
you're in the wrong career, ma'am.
For real.
Right?
You're in the wrong career, because I mean, there's been a lot of, like, some of that drama going on of, like, making fake accounts and messaging their husband with fake accounts, and or trying to test their men with loyalty and making fake GTLs and stuff like that. And I'm just like, how do you guys find how do you find information like that, like, and a lot of the times they're like, oh, they don't want to mention, like, where their husband is at, what prison they're at, for that same reason, because some of these women are in the wrong profession. They're better than the FBI agents.
Well, most of the states, you can just go to the state and put in a last name or even just a first name, and it'll bring up all the inmates with that first name or with that last name, and then it's just like, he's around this age, and then if you know
but
the
that's
boom, there he is.
that's doing too
Mm.
much, like
It is.
narrating. Okay,
So that's
these
why
two next.
if you ever hear me talk about my husband, I always just say Greyhound. I don't say shit else about him.
Yeah,
But good
yeah.
luck finding him. If you try, and if your dumbass does, my husband's gonna send me whatever you send him, dummy. Like,
That's how it so there is a it was funny because, like, my husband is the same way, and that's why I've always said, like, one thing I don't have to worry about is a lot of girls are like, oh, well, he's probably cheating. Like, that's one thing that they try to throw at me, like, oh, he's probably entertaining somebody else. I'm gonna say this: before me, my husband, he was a hoe, and I'm admitting it. He was a hoe before me, and I don't care what he did before me. When it was me, and now and after me, that's all I care about. So when females try to come to me and tell me, like, oh, he's doing this, he's doing that, I know he's not. I know who I married. um and again, there was somebody that messaged him on a fake account, and I was like, how do they find, like, how, and so they were just trying to talk to him, um and he told me right away, and he blocked it right away. He blocked it right away as well. And then there was another, I believe it's like a third party with Via Path or the GTL. And it was what was it? Sarah don't text, just call. That was the name of the account. Sarah don't text, just call, or something like that. And he asked me right away, he's like, do you have a Sarah that's following you? And I was like, I don't know. I said, I have a lot of followers, but I don't know. He's like, or are these stupid prison wives doing a stupid ass joke? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, what are you talking about? So then he's like, well, I blocked it. I don't know who it is, but I blocked it. He went to work. He came back and he was like, oh, that's a third party with GTL. I guess installed that. It's basically a third party. So if they want to uh, locate a loved one or something like that, they basically like an AI, I guess. They ask them, like, hey, I want to find this so and so, and then they do their whole research, and then they give them the information. So it's basically like, I don't know, some weird thing that
they shouldn't be doing that.
GTL added, which
I seen too in California, the girls
yeah.
were
So then
they were complaining about GTL downloading their old contacts. So, like, bitches they talked to years ago.
Yeah. So JPay, JPay linked up with GTL, which is Via Path now. So all the messages from, like, years ago from the Tudor Bobs and all these other girls came to the new one, to like their tablets now. So all the old messages or whoever they dealt with, back in the days, comes to their new tablet, which that's why it's very important to have trust in the relationship. Because if you guys don't have trust in the relationship, there's no relationship. There should be no relationship, and even with that little green light on, these girls go, my man's light was on. He was probably talking to somebody else. That light could just be on, just, be a glitch or something, and they're tripping like he's talking to somebody else. the man's probably snoring, drinking his cafecito, or doing something else. But they be tripping on that green little eye.
So my husband just literally just got the tablet. What, babe? Like 3 weeks ago, maybe. But we don't have that. We don't have the green light shit. But it's through Securus, so it's not GTL anymore. We went from GTL to Securus. But this is the first time they've had, because we're in Colorado. So this is the first time that all the facilities are getting the tablets for the first time now. Yeah. So we don't have the green light. But it's like I was reading, and I was telling him about that. I was like, you know, you could be watching a show or listening to music and that light's on. Like, it doesn't mean you're talking to somebody. Just means you're fucking using the tablet.
Mm-hmm.
But it's new for us. We're on this shit constantly.
Yeah, I've had so many prison wives, girlfriends, message me and ask me like, hey, if their light is on, is it because they're talking on the phone, or is it because, like, I'm like, relax. He's probably listening to music, or he's watching a movie. And then they also have like learning apps on the GTL, on the tablet. They have like I believe it's like anger management classes, just educational apps that they have there. So they don't they don't give credits. It's not, you know, credit based or whatever, but it's just so they could like learn about it, or, you know, understand themselves, help themselves, you know, throughout the day or whatever. I was reading the comment.
We have a comment, babe. Joey Duckett said, if you stand behind me, I'll protect you. If you stand on the side of me, I'll respect you. If you're in front of me, get out the way.
That part. That part.
Did you hear that, babe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joey's always on here saying some shit.
Yeah, I know. He comes up with some good ones. That's my boy right there.
He said earlier, 2 wrongs don't make a right, but it makes us even. You're so stupid. We were arguing before you came on here. Like, I won't tell you what the argument was because we'll just get into another argument.
Oh, I ain't have much.
It was relationship stuff. And the double standards and whatnot. I think that's what he was talking about. I'm like, yeah, like the women and men double standards drives me crazy.
Oh yeah.
I think he was talking about her when she was going out. She was talking about the trolls and shit.
That could have been too.
Yeah, because it came on there after that.
I didn't even see some of these. Yeah.
Yeah.
After the trolls.
But shit. I mean, that's the thing. Go with for word for word. You know what I mean? So long as you can smile about it, you ain't getting angry. It's all good. You're gonna win that battle. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And that, like I said, and even like when I go on my live, that's the same thing. Like they try to troll, they try to be funny, and then like I'll go back and forth, and then they leave the live, you know. And it's like I have time. I could go back and forth with you, you know. And at the end of the day, like I said, what triggers them is the fact that they can't get to you. They can't hit that button to piss you off. When they don't have that power, it gets them more mad, and it's like, all right, I'm gonna go try to trigger somebody else.
Yeah, I used to do the same shit with me. Once I stopped being entertained by it, right? Because it was just entertaining to me. Yeah, you're not gonna pull up, none of it's gonna happen. So I was going word for word. Once it became not entertaining anymore, I stopped entertaining it. So I would just block them. Like now they come, they try like, I ain't even trying to hear you. Like, whatever. I'm way too damn old. Like I don't know how much life I got left at my age. I can't be doing all that. I ain't 21.
And see, and that's the thing too. Like with these girls that like I've been going back and forth with. Like I said what I had to say. You don't want to fade it out, and then I'm gonna block you. That's it. Like there's nothing for me to say to you. You don't gotta say nothing to me. We said what we said. You don't want to move forward. You don't want to do nothing about it. Block. You know, and I've been going because there's a lot of messy girls in there that would I could be
in the world.
No, on TikTok, the prison wives, they're messy. because I could be making a TikTok video, and I make a lot of videos, and I'm like very direct. Some are relatable and some I'm just talking my shit. Um, and I'll be talking shit and I'll be putting like the girls' names of who I'm talking shit about. And their same friends would be liking it, but then send it to them. Oh, she's talking shit about you. How are you gonna like the video of me talking shit about your friend, but then you send it to your friend? It's it's not adding up.
What she's
And
saying, what she's saying is she likes the drama. She likes the beat. She likes the bullshit.
yeah,
And then she's instigating it because she's sending it on over.
There's
yeah,
mixes
and then
both male and
Keep it
female
funny.
that like doing shit like that. Both male and
Yeah.
And my
female.
husband's always talking shit like that. He goes, females are weird. You guys are always doing weird shit.
And men
Because
do
of
shit
that,
like
because
that
of
too
that
out every
exact
day.
type shit.
yeah, and I'm just like, and so for a cool while, it's been peaceful. No, I mean, unless I don't know about, but from what I've seen and me going live and everything, it was peaceful until just recent that somebody made a fake account specifically talking about, they made this article and it got to me because at the bottom of the article I said, come join us. I said, come join us. If you're confused or not in the sauce and you don't know who's telling the truth, join us on the latest prison wife drama. I'm just like, there's no way you guys made an article. This is not Univision. I don't even think they throw newspapers no more. Like, who would do something like this, And then they tagged me, they tagged somebody else, like they tagged other prison wives. And then, once it was brought to my attention, I was like, I didn't even know. I didn't pay attention because, like I said, I've been trying to like avoid TikTok for that same reason, because every time I go in, somebody comes for me, I come for them, and then they don't like it. And then I'm the bad guy. What did Scarface say? They need people like me. Like
I don't get involved in all of that.
The TikTok Scarface. Fuck.
I think I'm gonna change my name to TikTok Scarface.
See, well, I'm gonna tell you this. It's the thing. It's like you either entertain it or you don't, right? So it's like if you're gonna ask somebody or you're gonna speak about somebody, or even like this, if you're gonna speak about something that someone does, but other people do it, you're just thinking about a person, then that person's feathers are gonna get ruffled. No really different than saying it's kind of some snaky shit to do if you're not gonna you say it and put it out there who we're talking about. But that when you do that, you're inviting a back and forth.
Yeah. But I never get the back and forth. It's always just, a lot of bark. And cause like I said, I've sent the messages, I've sent the direct messages off of live, off of making videos. Nobody really knows what I said on those messages, because it was just between me and that person. And I said what I said. And on lives that I've been on lives to interact with other prison wives, they talk to me disrespectfully, when it's like I said, I could respect people's lives. If I have an issue with somebody, I could be on the same live. Don't talk to me, I don't talk to you. You stay over there, I stay over here. I could be grown and do that, but a lot of women are not. Like the minute I hop in somebody's live, is they want to go ahead and, be this, be that. And it's like, if you're going to call me that, you better have a reason of why you're calling me that. But like I said, I'm very direct, and I post for entertainment, and that's it. Like, some like it, some don't. Like I said, because what was it? What she said? She said that what did Liz say? She said, oh, I'm posting videos to stir drama. but the drama has already been there and the drama has not been settled. Like, I asked for it to be settled and for it to be dead, but they want to keep talking shit. So you keep talking shit, I'm gonna keep talking my shit, and let's see who wins. But they don't like it.
They never do. And it's just they have internet balls. Because a lot of people get on here, and even on here, and it's like, for me, the thing that drives me crazy on here is the grown men. I'll have grown men up here talking shit to me, and I'm like, first of all, if you're gonna talk shit, let's see your profile with the picture. Hold your balls. What's your real fucking name? Not this user 12345 or Phoenix's whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, we're all in our 40s, dude. Like, if you're gonna talk shit, say who you are. Why are you scared? The last time we haven't had problems in a while, but the last one I had looked at the subscriber. He was only subscribed for like a day, had one person following him, and he was talking shit. And I'm like, you're a grown man, dude. Like, what are you doing with your life?
Yeah.
Bitches do this shit, but man.
And on some of my TikTok videos, I have men talking shit, and I tell them, you're giving very much bitch activities, because leave that to the females, not you. And then, they'll be like, all right, my bad. But it's like, you got a lot of men nowadays acting like females, trying to talk shit to a female, like if it's gonna hurt our feelings.
That's crazy, dude. Like, some people just have too much time on their hands, and same people are just way too damn immature.
Yeah.
You can't call yourself an adult if you're not doing some immature shit like that.
Yeah.
Yep, it's bullshit. It's that type of shit that annoys me, and they always get mad at me. They're like, don't let it bother you. My husband's always like, don't. If it ain't true, who cares? Like, he won't even address it. You know what I mean? Because again, my husband takes shit to the extreme. So if it's not true or any kind of validity to it, he won't address it. But I will. And then I start getting all mad and acting all crazy. So I'm like, he's like, you need to stop, dude. Like, if it's not true, who cares? But I can't stand shit like that. Like, it drives me crazy. I think that's why I kind of don't go on TikTok like that or put myself out there like a lot of the wives do, because I just can't deal with shit like that. Like I said, I want to fight you. I don't want to talk. I don't want to argue back and forth. Like, let's meet up somewhere.
And that's a whole different beast right there. TikTok. Those live streams are way different than these live streams. That's way different.
But it's crazy because people do get on there and they're like ballsy, dude. And it's like, I know and you know that if we were face to face, there's no way you'd be talking to me like this.
Yeah.
So why are you doing it online? You know what I mean?
So there was that girl, I don't know if you follow her, that Liz559 on TikTok.
No.
She so my issue is with her friend. Her friend is the one that was on live, calling me out my name without even knowing me. So my issue was with her, but that's her friend. So monkey see, monkey do. She tried again acting ballsy on the live, talking about like, you could slide in my DMs. I won't give you my address, but I'll give you an address. Say less. I went onto her DMs and I got screenshots. So don't play me. I got screenshots. I said, I'm available every other weekend, because every other weekend I go visit. So the time that I won't go visit, I could go visit this bitch. So I said, that's the day that I'm available. And she said, it's up when we see each other. You're up north. I'm down south. When the fuck are we going to see each other? But on live, you're like, I'll give you an address. I'll give you an address. And then when I asked for the address, it's up when I see you. So what city do I even have to go pull up to? Like, at least tell me a gas station. Something. But no, on live, it's like, oh, I'll give you an address. I'll do this. I'll do that. And then when it shit hits the fan, they don't want to say anything. So
I don't think people are trying to do what they say they're going to do. I don't.
I'm saying
they're going to do something, they do it usually.
That's most people now on here. They're ballsy because they're hiding behind a screen.
That's
but when you
They
can't
know they're
go.
not gonna do shit. They know it's.
So they can say whatever crazy shit they want to say, and
Yeah.
they're protected by that screen. And that's a problem with all this shit nowadays. Because it's like, then when they get caught in person and they get fucked up, they want to play victim. Like, oh my god, I don't know why she did that to me.
Yeah.
Like, she's crazy. No, bitch, you asked for that. Like, what?
And
How am I
and
crazy?
I've always said, like, I don't have to prove myself. I don't have to do nothing. But if my mouth moves a certain way, it's because my hands move that same way. I'm not gonna be out here acting like I'm Rocky Balboa and then, end up like freaking what, Mayweather? Like, no, I'm not gonna do that, So sometimes I feel like just deactivating my TikTok account, but at the same time, it's like I feel like I've done more positive behind the screen than than the bullshit, because I really have, been there, have encouraged, have helped other like prison wives that are really going through it, are really battling depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, like all these mental health issues, that they have came to me and have actually said, like, thank you for being there for me. It helped me. I've done more good behind, you know, the closed doors than what it is. So it's like a battle of like, should I deactivate it? Because at the end, like I said, after I say what I need to say, and if you don't address it, I'm blocking you, and that's what I did. Um, like I said, it's messy bitches that be like going back and forth, and I cleaned my TikTok. I cleaned it, so I was like, you have been on her page, blocked. You're mutual friends with her, blocked. Like, my block list is longer than the Section 8 list. I could tell you that much. But I'm just like, it's a battle of like trying to do good and be there for people. But then it's like, do I really want to keep dealing with the bullshit? And bullshit, as like these females keep talking their shit and they don't do nothing about it.
That's a hard one, because I told my husband that before we start doing the raw and 100 stuff with him on the Married Lifers, it was just about relationships and the shit that we go through. And there was a few times where I was like, I'm done. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to do this anymore. And then one of my friends will reach out to me, or something will happen where they're like, thank you for doing those, because I feel like I'm the only one that has these emotions or feel this type of way, or, you know what I mean? And it's like, it'll keep me going, because I was at Visit one day, and I'm not that active on all my stuff, but like my Facebook stuff a little bit more, and then it's been more. And some girl came up to me at Visit one day, and she was like, oh my god, I recognized you right away. And she starts talking to me, and I was like, she's like, you don't know how much you've helped me. I didn't even know she was a follower. I had no idea who she was at all. But it gives you that little, like, that second wind, if you will, to be like, okay, I'm gonna keep doing this because it's helping people. So I mean, lately we've been talking a lot about my husband's stuff and like what he's involved in and stuff, and his people from Arizona. But like before all that, that's what we were doing, was relationship stuff, the shit we go through with them, the good times, the bad times, the things we go through at Visit, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because people don't understand the shit we go through to be there for them and see them, you know what I mean? And just visits alone, like we were having issues being targeted and shit, and like that's hard than having to deal with dress codes and all this other weird shit that goes on.
Yeah, I know of a prison who I mean, I've never been in that situation, but just the thought of it and how humiliating it would be, how she said, they had to like strip search her because they thought she had something and she never did. Like, that's humiliating for us, like, to feel like that, or to have somebody, I've like I said, I've never been there, so I can't sit here and say like, it's probably my husband calling. Um, like I said, I can't sit here and say like I would know what it feels, because I've never been in that situation. But just the thought of like how embarrassing it would be, how nasty I think I would feel, And it's like those things that are things that prison wives go through that they don't, they don't really talk about it or put it out there like that. But it's like, it's not fun. I don't think it's fun to be like strip searched and to feel that way. But it's a lot of things that we go through, like visiting, like even with kids, they got to dress a certain way because it has to go with the dress code. And my whole wardrobe is black because I can't take nothing else.
Yeah. My husband's always telling me, you wear the same thing. I'm like, dude, you're 3.5 or 3 hours away from me. Like, you're in the middle of nowhere. There's no stores. I have to go with what I know I can get in with, because if not, I'm screwed. You know what I mean? So I have to wear the same shit all the time. And then you watch, like, I don't know how they do it out there, but out here, even babies, like we've seen little 2-year-olds crying and scared because they got to put their arms out and be searched down. And it's like, it's fucking sad to watch that shit. You know what I mean? And everybody don't know about those parts either.
Yeah. See, like the kids out here, they have to, if they meet a certain height, they have to wear, obviously the same dress code as us. But like babies, like in car seats and stuff like that, like they, let them go through. They do provide like a car seat, like the prison's car seat and the little stroller. So, say for example, I take my car seat, I have to leave mine right there, in the processing, and then take theirs. But they don't search the babies like that.
So it's different states, because my husband's been to multiple states, and when our daughter was a baby, like he was in New Mexico, so they weren't strict like that. Like they went through my bag, but they didn't mess with anything else with her. You know what I mean? And the other kids wasn't a problem. They didn't do that to my other 2 kids. But here in Colorado, they do that shit. So it's sad to watch the kids go through that. You know what I mean? Because we've seen a little boy he was terrified. He didn't know what the fuck was going on. He's down there like that. They kept telling him to put his arms out and show it the bottom of his feet. And he's crying. Like, he doesn't know what's going on. It's sad that they do that shit. But then at the same time, we've seen where, or heard stories and shit like that of where girls use their kids to take shit in. And it's like,
I don't know if you've seen, there was a video that was posted, or like on a story or something. There was a female that had went to go visit, I guess, somebody, but she had a baby in a car seat and a toddler. And it's starting to get hot out here, like really hot. She left those babies in the car to go visit.
What?
Yeah, here in California. I can't remember if it was in Lancaster or where it was, but she left the baby in the car seat and a toddler in the back seat of a car. I mean, I don't know for how long she was in visiting or whatever, but the girl that came from visiting, she recorded the thing because they had all the COs and everybody out there by the car, and the baby in the car seat and the toddler in the car. And I'm just like, there's no way these females could be this slow to leave these babies in the car. And like I said, I don't know how long these babies were in the car for, but just 30 minutes in the hot in a car with no water, no AC, no nothing. That you got to be stupid. Like, I think, like, to each their own, but if you use your children to do some lame shit, you should not have children. You should not have children.
Like, I'm thinking to myself, as you're saying that, I'm thinking, if I'm in there, right, and this is going down, like, I'm gonna question this dude. Like, did you know that she was coming and had them babies out there, bro, like that? Because you're just as responsible for what she did as you, as her. Like, did you know that, or did you tell her to fucking, you know what I mean?
Leave
like,
them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because, bro, if you wanted her to come knowing she had those kids and agreed to leave them, like, oh, hell no. You probably got to go, bro. You probably got to go.
Yeah. See, and that's another way to get them in some shit in there. You know what I mean? And not realizing it. But, like, how dumb are you to be to fucking, no, man, nobody should come before your kids. So for me,
fuck no, dude. No,
exactly.
Dude.
I said my kids are older. I have my daughter, the oldest, she's gonna be 15. I have a 12-year-old and a 10-year-old. There's times that they do want to go to visit. There's times that they don't want to go to visit because the drive, because it's hot, because they don't have good food. So, sometimes like I'll go. Sometimes they'll stay with their grandma and I'll go and stuff. But if my kids were smaller and I, for whatever reason, they didn't want to go or I couldn't take them, I'm sorry, but I'm not going. I'm not gonna go visit. I could see you on a video call or we could be on the phone, but my kids always come first. And that's another, like, that's one thing that, like, with their donor, um like I said, he was always in and out of the system. And when I would take my son to go visit, because my son would cry for him, I would take him to visit. And instead of trying to talk to him, it was more of hi dad, I miss you. Okay, let me talk to your mom. When he would do that, I was like, I'm not bringing my son to you no more. You got me fucked up. I'm not bringing my son to you no more. So you're not gonna be about to be a part-time dad. No. So it would disgust me, and I never took my kids back to go visit their donor. I never took them back. And with my husband now, um he tells me, if you can't come, take the kids out for the weekend. The weekend that I don't go visit, take the kids out to or don't come, take the kids out for, you know, go out to like a Six Flags, or go take them here, go take them there. So he's more of take the kids instead of come visit me, you know?
Yeah.
Right. As it
He
should
said
be.
my son, I think he meant pulled. My son pulled a fire alarm. He thought it was the latch to the door to get out a visit. It almost started a riot.
Oh my God.
All right.
Damn.
So
Yeah,
I agree
so
with you on that one with the kids, because our daughter, she's our baby and she's going to be 20. So like at this point, I put my husband before anybody now, because our kids are grown. They have their own lives.
Yeah.
They're on their own. But before that, like my kids came before everybody and anybody. And he was
Yeah.
always like, too, like our kids come first, and then whatever we need after that, then we do.
Yeah.
So that's always been a mutual thing. But I think some of these guys and some of these girls, they link up and they're both fucked up. You know what I mean? Like they don't care.
Yeah.
And that's the sad part for these kids that are involved in that shit.
Yeah. And then and now a lot of these women, and it's a lot of young girls now, they're so infatuated, they're so like involved in this lifestyle that they don't care about whether their kids want to go to visit or not. Like if the kid is crying or he needs a diaper change or something like that, like she wants to be at the visit. Like she don't care if the baby ends up with a rash or nothing. Like she has to be at visit. That's how these females nowadays are, where it's like your priorities are like
Fucked up.
backwards.
Hey,
Yeah.
what
They're
would
back-
you have done if I did that with our daughter?
Says you did what?
If I did that with our daughter? If I didn't change her diaper at visit or feed her because I was too involved in talking to you, what would your reaction have been?
Go change her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'd have been offended.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like these guys match up with these bitches that have no.
Like, I'm so slapped down.
Yeah, I know, but if I was busy talking to you, I'm not worried about feeding her or changing her.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
So that's weird to us, because when I used to go take our daughter to see him, like it was all about him and her. Even now that she's an adult, we go, like I don't even exist, dude. Like I just go just there because it's all about them. You know what I mean? And I'll give her that. That's her dad, but like
I tell, like my husband tells me, he's like, are you gonna bring the kids this time? I'm like, no, fuck them kids. Every time I go, you never pay attention to me. You know, I'm just sitting there, like just eating and eating my life away, and he's there, bonding and playing. But like I said, I wouldn't trade that for nothing. And I'm allowed to say fuck them kids because I'd raise these kids and I take care of these kids, so I could say that.
But
I say that to him too all the time. I'm always saying, "Fuck these kids." Like I don't mean it. I just say it, but
yeah,
you
but
get
it's like
everything.
we could say it because we raised.
Yeah,
But the relationship that they have, the relationship that they have with him is the relationship they have with him is completely
Different than what they really had with their they never really had a relationship with their donor. And my son calls my husband dad. um they my oldest daughter, like, she talks to him like, hey, this happened at school. She's in high school. Hey, this happened at school. This is that, like, the middle child, the same thing. Like, she'll talk to him. And then she graduated today, so he called, for, even though obviously he can't be here physically, but he was there on the phone.
Yeah,
um
yeah.
so it's a lot of things that, that some of these men, like, even in there, like, they have to, like, know and prioritize their shit, because these kids come first before the women, and the kids come first before the man. And a lot of the times these women, this I say this generation, because it's a whole new generation of women, of young girls, that think that it's a fun lifestyle.
yeah. I
I
don't.
guess to them it is. I mean, they're playing it like it is until they burn themselves out. And I don't know. That shit sounds crazy as fuck to
Yeah.
me. Like, damn, grow the fuck up. You can't be no woman and be
Yeah,
doing it, man.
Well, in prison you see that, but it's
exactly.
out on the streets too. Like bitches will make a man their whole fucking world and forget that they have kids that they brought into this world that
Yeah,
didn't
see,
have.
I'm
Yeah.
like, if you're talking, it's all about prison, but I'm looking at the bigger prison, like that's just a microcosm of this world at large. Because it's like you go online and everything you're saying right there, that's just a genre. If I go to any other genre, I'm gonna find drama. I can go to a
Yeah.
Christian genre, and the Christians are gonna be fighting about what he said. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? So it's just the nature of our society that we live in this day and age. I mean, it's on us to be accountable and responsible. It's on us to have, standards and morals and values, and to lead by example, because, never mind what's behind. It's a matter of what's before, and what we
Yeah.
believe is beyond us. I mean, what we believe we can achieve beyond us, because that shit behind us don't matter. It's an anchor if you
Yeah.
allow it to drag you behind, keep turning around to it. You know what I mean? The rest
Yeah.
is progressing forward, trying to get ahead, trying to come up, trying to build. Like, why
Yeah.
are you trying to destroy it by creating drama? Because, like, it's like you're only inflicting it upon yourself first and foremost. Those frustrations, those agitations, that bullshit, you're only doing it to yourself first. And it's like, I get the misery loves company, but how long are we all going to want to be miserable to the miserable people in this world? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I've come out of it, like you were saying, like, we know what it is. And those of us that come out of it, like, those of us smile, we can smile through the shit. We find joy in all of it. You know what I mean? Whereas them, they can't seem to, because they're not accountable, responsible, nor they even respect their lives. That's why
Yeah.
there's no respect
That's
for
true.
everyone else. They're not respecting themselves by being disrespectful to others. It's like I say, you don't earn my respect. I give it to you.
Yeah.
You disrespect me, you got a problem, because I give you respect. I respect you. You didn't
Yeah.
earn it, give it. I don't know you not to respect you, right?
Yeah.
Unless
Yeah.
you
Exactly.
not to respect you, then I choose to turn away or go wit for wit and word for word with you. I choose myself to be equally disrespectful. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I just come to an age where, like, man, I'm not gonna waste 5 minutes with that shit no more. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
to have to block a motherfucker is too much to me now, because it's like, dude, you grow the fuck up, please stop.
I need to get on that level because I still get pissed off.
Hey, it takes some getting used to. Don't think I've mastered anything in this world. Because no, I
Yeah.
go through it, but
Alrighty. I'm gonna have to get off because my husband keeps calling, so he's probably like, "Why you ignoring my calls?"
Well, thank you
But
for coming on.
it was nice talking to you guys. It was fun, you know, joining the live and letting you guys in.
Well, thank you
Appreciate
for
it.
jumping on with us. I'll talk to you again later.
Yeah.
Alrighty, you guys have a good night.
Your story was sad.
Thank you.
Have a good
You guys
night.
have a good night. Uh-huh.
Babe, are you ready to end the live? I'm tired too.
Yeah.
I'm about to have count right now too, where I'm unable to call back.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for joining us. I know it was a little bit of a second late start, if you will, and we sit on for quite a while, but we appreciate you guys jumping on. I'll let Chyna know I appreciate her getting on with us. I've been asking for a minute for that, so I appreciate that too. But thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll be back next Thursday. Married Lifers.
We out.
Like,
Gotta wait till he says it. I love you.